It starts the preload. That should be good. Oh, that's right. I wanted to do something else. Always so many things you want to do, right?
Right. I'm gonna reach out to the leader of battleships here. Wait, it may have just popped up. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay, game is under DTK once you get in.
Got it. And just like that, World of Warships has successfully updated. Now, I just need to go to my folder, bin. Today's the 19th, so there's 2 of them to choose between. I'll guess this one. Res, engine config, and set mute to false. I have to do that every time the game patches because reasons.
For replays.
Well, no, that's so I can tab out of the game and still hear the game.
Oh, I do that through Aslan's.
Yeah. I find that...
Lazy.
Well, sure, but like a lot of times Aslan's is up and you just, you know, or isn't up yet, I should say, right?
Got it,
So,
yeah.
okie dokie, so that's done. So now I can start the game. Please let them know I am arriving soon.tm.
Yep. Who won Future GP? What do you mean? Gives me more time to cuddle with my wife. Okay, interesting.
Okay. Now, I need to do my go live tweet. Commander, take a survey. I'll pass on that right now.
DTK is who the room's under.
Thank you much.
There you are.
There I am.
So right off the bat, in all of this, I've noticed that IPUSH hasn't picked their ships yet.
And meaning they're not ready?
Well, I don't know what they're... Okay, good luck, I'll remember. Fun is mandatory. Spreadsheet demands it. Right. Yeah, I'm not sure what they're like. I don't know
Okay,
what
they're readying up now.
Yep. Here we go.
Okie dokie. Switch over to our live game. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. And thanks for joining up with me, GameProdigy. This is awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate it. This is going to be a lot of fun. This is kind of the low pressure version of King of the Seas.
Right.
And it's a chance for battleship mains to really highlight their skill. I don't think they really get to do that in King of the Seas as much. You're basically watching what the destroyers are doing, or you're watching what the cruisers are doing.
Mm-hmm.
This is all battleships, and their skill really gets to shine through here.
Yeah. Oh, this is exciting.
We'll have to see what they pick. And would you like me to explain the format here?
Yeah, go ahead if you don't mind. For a lot of the people that are maybe new to all this, sure.
So this is a 4v4 battleship tournament. They get 31 total points. Each tier constitutes 1 point. So a tier 2 battleship constitutes 2. A tier 10 constitutes 10. They get a total of 31. The other caveat is they cannot have... no ship can be from the same nation. So 31 points to distribute, and they have to be from different nations.
Got it. So here we go. You want to take the Alpha group, I'll take Bravo?
Sure. On the... Oh, that had me a little off here. But on the side of the battleships, you have Tsukimi-chan in the Jean Bart, Derp in the Grosser Kurfürst, Atago is my waifu in Ohio, and Dakshab in the Mikasa.
Yep, and then on the Bravo side, the red team here, we've got Ohio, Kremlin, Jean Bart, and Mikasa. So like you were saying, teams opting to grab a Mikasa to gain the point value so they can have higher tier other battleships.
Sure, and the interesting thing, and what's different from other days for those that have been following the tournament, is the teams get to pick their different maps in a different order. So we're going to see Two Brothers first, then Solomon Islands, and then if it goes to the decider, the third map will be Epicenter Big Race.
Two Brothers is always a lot of fun. You have to decide early if you're going to go one side up the middle or try to play both sides. And it looks to me like the red team here has chosen to go for the Alpha side.
Well, and what's interesting is normally the team that is going to go, or that's Bravo, is going to go to the A side. In terms of what the battleships are doing, they appear to be sending the Ohio out wide and putting the Kurfürst down the middle and putting the Jean Bart out on the flank. So this Jean Bart's going to have to handle probably the first firefight, and it's going to be a tough one for him. The question is going to be, can he save his health long enough for the Ohio to whatever his flank is, get this cap, and then get back to support?
Yep. And the other question is, will Robin and the Kremlin go up the channel? His guns are looking up the channel right now. Oh, hey, Derp changed course. Derp is not going down the channel.
Yeah, the question becomes, for the low tier ship like the Mikasa, do they have some type of radio location on it? So they're able to figure out, there's only 4 ships. So if you're on the left side and your radio location is showing hard right, that gives you a lot of information early on.
That's a really good point. But interestingly, and the reason I was talking about the decision to split is because I would imagine you almost want to concentrate your firepower and hope that the enemy team splits, right? Because then you can focus on one particular ship and just get them down.
Correct. And focus fire has been huge here. On different maps, the ability to get that flank shot has been important. But traditionally with this Mikasa strategy, what we've been seeing teams do is figuring out if all 4 players are on one side, and if they are, the Mikasa is going to the opposite side to try and backcap. I'm guessing that's what Doc Shab is doing, but I'm a little confused as to what the Ohio is doing on the side of the battleships in that case.
He seems very far back.
Well, and it's going to be a very long time for him to be able to, once they figure out, and let's see what they see. They see nothing right now. It's going to take him a long time. Once they figure out that they are all going to A, he's going to have to charge through D. And while he will get their broadsides, it's going to take him about 3 minutes to do it.
Right.
So the Ohio is spotted now. And I wonder if the Jean Bart isn't spotted. So I wonder if he's going to withhold his fire and try and get more information before they know he's there.
I like the idea of putting the Mikasa behind. Even though Swagger Noodle is extremely weak here, those extra guns may come in handy.
I mean, what we're seeing with the Mikasas is basically until they know where the enemy's at, and Doc Shab is taking a huge risk.
Mm-hmm.
Until they know where everything's at, those Mikasas aren't moving. Because once he gets caught out, he can be run down by basically any other ship in the fleet.
Absolutely. Yeah, and his only play really is just to spam HE and hope to get a hit out of these significantly inaccurate guns.
Oh yeah, oh definitely. And I mean that's an active last. This is why I don't really particularly like the Mikasa pick, because it brings no firepower to bear. When you bring a tier 3 battleship, you can at least fire some HE with some degree of accuracy and hope to light a fire. With the Mikasa, you're for that one extra point, you know, that Ohio could be a Georgia. Yep. And then you could have a tier 3 or the Kremlin. I don't know if you down tier a Kremlin. Now the Jean Bart's very broadside to the Kremlin.
I was just going to comment about that. Bit of a mistake. He backed up way too far. He's going to start getting punished for that. There it goes. I was going to comment I didn't like the positioning of Robin and Arkaze. I think I'd like to see the Jean Bart particularly swinging out a little bit farther wide. But I can understand he's trying to stay out of the Kurfürst's guns. The problem is that he's completely ineffective right now.
Well, and they have the Ohio flanking, so your secondary ship is the furthest possible place away from where you think the majority of their team is going to be. Yeah,
that's just a few question marks here.
Well, Mikasa's in D now, and Ohio, they've figured out. I don't think they've seen the Jean Bart yet, have they? I don't know if they know the Jean Bart's there just yet.
He's taking hits. I'm pretty sure they know the Jean Bart's there.
Oh, yeah. So they know all of them are there, and the Ohio is making a full charge to the backside. But the Kremlin, Jean Bart, and Ohio have already moved forward. So they've done a great job isolating 2 ships.
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing I'm noticing is the Jean Bart can only shoot at this Ohio now. He's learned his lesson from the Kremlin. And so the Kurfürst has to field the shots of both a Kremlin and Jean Bart, but they need to start focus firing on that Ohio, or they're going to go down without taking a ship with them. Right.
And now that Tsukimi-chan is kind of stuck at this point in the island, he's not able to use his gun, so he's kind of effectively out of the battle, which allows, as you can see, Robin and Arkaze pushing around now to start focusing on Derp, who is already turning around and saying, I don't want any more of this.
Well, and the very interesting thing about this, and I don't want to prematurely say who has the advantage here yet, but the battleships came in as the number 2 seed, and IPUSH got here through. They weren't the play-in. They were the lower tier seed. So they're showing their mettle, and I think their game plan is coming together nicely. The Ohio has turned around, and he is coming back on their side of the spawn.
Mm-hmm.
But the Jean Bart's already at half health. both teams put their Ohio in weird places out wide. I wonder if they did some type of scouting on the other and knew that they like to put the Ohio's out wide. They just guessed the side wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Now the Ohio is pushing down on the Jean Bart container, and he's going to have full secondaries against the Jean Bart, who's going to back up, and that means the Kremlin's going to get the crossfire. Oh, if the Kremlin would have waited another second, I think he would have made that mistake.
Don't you love when that happens? I don't know how many times that happens to me as a Battleship player. Like, I'm all ready to go, and then suddenly yeah.
That reminder of, hey, you get punished if you make this move.
Mm-hmm.
I normally get punished, though. They wait. So at this point, the Jean Bart's down. His only move is going to be to try and ram this Ohio. He's not going to win in a 1v1 fight.
Yep.
So he's got to get the most value that he can get. Now, the Curvers can back up and get the help of the Ohio, and the Ohio is going to have the Jean Bart's broadside. Let's see if he can overlook the Kremlin and shoot at the Jean Bart.
Nope,
Because
there it is.
You see, Doc Shab has wrapped around. He's hunting at least the C cap.
Yep. Good work by Robin and Arkaze looking at Tsukimi-chan, trying to prevent the ram, but it's too little too late. I'm not sure why Container is taking the ram. Wow, look at that, guys.
Wow, that was a hero shot.
Denied.
From the Ohio. And now Derp is, well, he's not quite in a 3v1, he's in a 3v2 again, so his odds haven't changed.
Mm-hmm.
Except now the Ohio is focused on him as well and had his broad. Now, Atago is my wife, who did realize that the Jean Bart was giving a little bit too much broadside and has focused on him, ignoring the Kremlin, which is a tough thing to do. And we are seeing focus fire now, so you're going to see the secondaries of the Kerr first, at least for the moment he had there. And now the secondaries of the Ohio start to focus down on this Jean Bart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a little unfortunate. It took so long now for that Ohio to come around, right? Because he went so wide. He's finally becoming combat effective, and the battle is almost over already.
Well, the games are 15 minutes, so he took 2/3 of the match to do what the teams have been having the Mikasa do. Now, the Mikasa is capping C, so they're getting some value out of Doc, but oh, actually, it's going to work point-wise. That's going to work out. If the Mikasa caps C and the other Mikasa appears to be responding, they may be able to make up the points from the loss of the Jean Bart, but the Kerr first is not long for this world. And again, you have a 2/3 down Jean Bart, and they're putting their secondaries on the Kremlin mainly because he's tanking.
Mm-hmm.
But you gotta take guns out of the game, and they've half-healthed the Ohio, they've half-healthed the Jean Bart. Now they're going after the Kremlin. The Curvers doesn't have enough HP to withstand this. Yep.
How many times do we see this in competitive modes? Focus fire is just so important, and if you're just evenly distributing damage, it doesn't do anything. Meanwhile, Derp is pretty much out.
Yeah, his only option is to go dark here and potentially get some heals, but that's going to mean a 3v1 versus the Ohio. And let's see, he's not dark yet. If he stops firing, and it looks like that's what he's doing, he can save his life.
Yep, but you got to hope that these next couple... Oh, never mind.
No, that does it. And so now even capping C, the points aren't going to be... You have 3 minutes. They are at a slight point advantage, but that Kremlin is going to be going into the cap very soon or killing the Ohio. And this is the result. You have 3 high-tier battleships that are at half health. If you take that health and move it in any one direction, one of those ships is dead.
Yep.
And that's more health that your team could have had on their point. So you're just going to watch the Jean Bart or the Kremlin ram here.
Most likely, yeah. That's all that's needed. Robin is reversing. He's on double fire, maybe triple, depending if he's got fire prevention. Arkaze is coming in here, and I think they're doing the disrespect. I think he's going to do a drive-by instead of trying to ram. Yep.
I mean, go for the statement. They were the underdog team. I mean, if you want to mentally rattle a team, 4-0 them. and I think that's what they're going for.
Yep. Meanwhile, we've got a Mikasa slap fight going on down south. So let's take a look at that. We got 2 minutes left in the game. Doc Shab in America camo. Versus Swagger Noodle.
Hey, the guns actually hit.
Right?
So yeah, IPUSH is they're gonna take game 1, and they're gonna do it. Now this is where Doc Shab needs to recover something from his team, because if they lose all 4 ships and a Mikasa v Mikasa 1v1, they're gonna be mentally shaken.
Remember, guys, it is best of 3, so obviously still more to come.
Well, and I think this was the battleship's pick, I believe. Gotta look.
Decent attempt at a broadside there. No dice.
Oh, there you go. Big hits on Swagger Noodle.
Yep. Doc Shab waited. Swagger Noodle got a little impatient. You can see the result right there. However, Swagger Noodle's going to have another salvo up in about maybe 5 seconds. There it is, but for whatever reason, he's not continuing his turn for his front guns. Generally speaking, when you get into a toilet bowl of death, the last thing you want to do is keep turning, because it keeps your broadside to the enemy. Yes, it gets your guns up, but it keeps your broadside to them as well. So Swagger is saying, I'm just going to wait for the cavalry to come, and you can see the cavalry coming down the channel right now. Jean Bart steaming full speed ahead, most likely with engine boost. Oh yeah, he's sensing blood.
Oh yeah, and the question is basically, can they get there in the 10 seconds left in order to kill the Mikasa?
Nope.
It doesn't look that way.
Unfortunately, guys, we're going to end this first battle with no death pick. I can still line up for something. But
it's going to be game number 1 to IPUSH, so the lower ranked team pulling out first blood.
That's right.
And so you gotta talk value of that Mikasa on the side of IPUSH. The Mikasa basically just waited to get into a fight on the side of the battleship. They brought him over to cap the D cap, but they also had the Ohio there. Or was it? I'm not sure if it was the A cap or the D cap. It was the D cap, and then the Mikasa was able to go and cap C. So that's technically 1.5 for the Mikasa, but like, it wasn't enough when you had a 2v3 basically the entire map. That Ohio, I don't know if that's bad luck, but any way you look at it, if they did go to the D side, the Ohio was going to be 3v1. If they went to the A side, then you had the Kerfer Jean Bart 3v1.
Right.
I'm not sure I agree with that distribution. And on Solomon Islands now, you're not going to see that.
No.
If they have the only ships we've seen go to the Alpha spawn on the far west have been Jean Bart's and Georgia's. Everything else has gone to C cap and the far east. And then they've parked Mikasas in that little safe spot in B. I've seen some teams make a play for the middle, the Bravo spawn. So if you had to pick spawn, what would you pick here?
Which side? I would probably want the southern side.
See, I would too.
Yeah.
The southern side offers a ton of options. And you have a nice, so teams almost always go to the northeast, the Charlie side. And if you get to the left-hand side of the Bravo B cap, you have a straight broadside shot at all of those ships hanging behind that island.
Yeah.
And plus, I mean, there's a reversal of it, but like, Bravo chooses if they're going to go there or not.
Plus, the other thing too is on the 10 line of the map, there's far less land to get in the way of your maneuvering compared to on the A line up on the north side. So I often find myself feeling a little claustrophobic when I go up to the north on that particular map. Keep in mind, that's when I'm playing tier 4, 3, maybe 5 ships. You're talking about possibly playing tier 9s here? Wow. That's
Yeah.
epic
Oh,
claustrophobia. That's extreme claustrophobia.
yeah, I never thought about that. And it also gives you the option of potentially border humping if you get into trouble.
Exactly. Looks like both sides are readying up. Here we go.
So 1-0 IPUSH. If they win, they will sweep the battleships in an upset. I'm guessing that we're going to see a more concerted playstyle with the secondary ships going together. Let's see what they brought on the side of the battleships. You have how do you say this? Tsukimi-chan and the Jean Bart. Derp in the Kerr first. Atago is my waifu, and Doc Shab and the Mikasa, same exact team.
So they like it. Whatever that is, they like how it played out. And then it looks like we also have the same lineup over on the IP side. We've got Robin in the Kremlin, Arkaze, in the Jean Bart Black, Container 173 in the Ohio, and Swagger Noodle in the Mikasa.
Now, if you're playing competitive and let's just assume that Battleships wins. If you know in the last 2 games they brought the same ships, are you going to keep your same ships, or are you going to try and counter that?
Honestly, I'm going to play the game that I have practiced and prepared for. So if that means that my teammates have practiced and played a certain specific way, then that's how I'm going to set up. I'm not going to worry about what the enemy is doing. I might try to adjust my strategy a little bit. But overall, I'm not going to say, they'll probably take the same ships, so what can we do to counter it? Because I don't think it's the ships. I think it's the overall way that they are playing the game. That first game that was the 4-0 loss. Well, not 4-0, but 3-0 loss.
3.5.
Yeah, 3.5. Yeah, exactly.
Well, exactly. And we're seeing some definite interesting moves on the side of the battleships. The C-cap, where you're assuming is going to be the strength of the Alpha spawn, and typically where you're seeing secondary ships go, is being spotted by the Mikasa. The Ohio appears to be making a play for B. The Kerr first veered off and is now making a play for B, and the Jean Bart went well to the left and is now pivoting over towards A.
Yep. And for those of you guys viewing my channel, I do apologize. I'm spending an awful lot of time looking at the Kerr first signals because I'm wondering if anybody has noticed anything about this Kerr first. GameProdigy, have you noticed anything about the Kerr first signals?
Hold on, I'm looking at it right now.
Something I used to do all the time in replay theater, but I haven't done recently because all the signals have changed. They're smaller now, harder to see because you can mount so many of them.
I give up. What do you got?
He's not wearing protection. He does not have Juliet Charlie. At least I don't think so. I'm looking. All the other ones I saw it. I did not see it on this one. He's got ramming flag, repair booster, XP earnings, which is meaningless in training room, credit reduction, consumable reload, secondary booster, speed boost, commander XP. He's even got anti-air. Looks like the new Hydro boost. He's got the new Hydro boost, but he doesn't have protection. He can possibly detonate.
Wow, that would be tragic. And that's one thing we haven't seen. We've seen a Jean Bart versus Jean Bart where one did not have a ramming flag, and that meant the second Jean Bart lived. And ultimately that was the game decider. Now they've managed to cap B. If I'm IPUSH, I'm confused. I'm very confused that we haven't seen anything at all. And based on the speed that the Jean Bart has capped A, I'm thinking that it's the Mikasa there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they have spotted the Kerfers.
The interesting thing is where IPUSH is putting their Mikasa Swagger Noodle, he's kind of moving off to the corner to where he's going to get screwed if he gets spotted. He's got, like, nowhere to run.
Well, and he has about, what, like a 10 kilometer to detect? He's got some space, and this is what kills me about these Mikasas. On this map, we've seen this is where they went to the little tip of this island at sea, and stuck a tier 3 Russian battleship. And in the moment they crossed like this, he came out, he got a Citadel shot, and then rammed and killed an Ohio. I mean, it was perfect.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
A tier 3 Russian battleship held up an Ohio, and I want to say a Georgia, like a tier 9 and a tier 10, because they knew he was going to ram. And that's so much value versus a Mikasa hiding. Yeah,
absolutely. That's a great point. But there's, I don't know. I haven't, we haven't covered most of the games. You have, but have you seen other like low tier ships? Like I'm thinking like Isuzuchi, for example, high speed, decent HE, and somewhat buffed AP over when it was originally released.
Ooh, there goes the Mikasa. So I've seen a strategy that I think is the most comprehensive team you can have, and it was a Julio at tier 5, a Tirpitz, a Pommern, and a Georgia, and they just wrecked house. And by bringing in an Italian battleship, that gives you even so you're only allowed to have one nation, so that gives you even more options.
Right, it frees up the Japanese nation, essentially.
And the Tirpitz ended up killing all 4 with Torps. So you got huge value from that Tirpitz, and it was a 4v4. That's 4 extra guns. Now, we've got the Kerfers and the Ohio sitting in the B cap, just raining down secondaries, and we're starting to see focus fire.
Yep.
This is how the Jean Bart has managed to come around. So you've got all 3 on all 3.
Yep. And once again,
and it's a matter of who kills, who gets that first kill.
Right. You can see they're all focusing on derp, as they should be. He's at a third of the health, and he's already about to beach, which means he's going to be stuck. But Container is going in first. Robin was forced to slow down because of all the fires that he was set on. I would almost like to see Container slow down and let Arkaze get up there ahead of him. We'll have to see. Oh, big hit there on Derp. He's going down momentarily. Come on, go down already.
Yeah, well, and the Ohio is in a weird place. So I think you take the Jean Bart and you get enough damage on this Ohio and you ram it. Because you're so, I mean, he could potentially Citadel him. That's what they should be going for first and foremost. But in the event that can't happen, you get this second ship out of the way, tier 10 for tier 9. And you have your Ohio and Kremlin face down the Jean Bart. Now, if the Ohio was able to move out.
Now, I also disagree. Atago was shooting at Robin there, trying to get him down, but at this point, it's really hard to get rid of a Kremlin. I might be focusing on Container with the Ohio because he's broadside, or even Arkaze to just try to dissuade him from shooting him in the Citadel. Because Jean Bart's turrets are relatively weak and can easily be shot out.
Yeah, and the amazing thing is, in a 3v3 now, IPUSH they're showing discipline, and they're winning. They're doing it by, look at this, the Jean Bart on the battleship side hasn't even been touched yet. They're going down the line, one ship at a time.
That's right.
And it's working, and they managed to take out the Mikasa. This is going to be a sweep.
It will be a sweep. Tsukimi-shan realizing all is up, and he's just going forward now, hoping for some miracle. But he keeps shooting at Robin. He should have been ready for that broadside on Container, or even on Arkaze. He's got a beautiful broadside right here, but Arkaze returns shovel first.
He's finally taken the shot on him,
Yeah.
but where in this situation, like, there's nothing he's going to be able to do to get the win, and there it goes.
There we go, guys. We got our death pick.
And so that's that. In 2 games, IPUSH taking the W, which is shocking.
Yeah.
So we have our first upset of the evening, and that's going to put them up between the winner of Where Are Planes and Sparkle Princesses. And just so everyone's aware, these teams are from the red division, which is the winners bracket. So if for some reason Sparkle Princesses wins the Where Are Planes match, and let's actually see if we can get in on a game 3.
Sounds good. While you're checking on that, I'm going to restart my client because unfortunately, the file that I edited was the wrong one. I had 5 choices and I picked the wrong bin folder to go into. So, bear with me for a moment as I restart the game. Okay, there we go. Now, do we have a place that we can go to see the results of the other games that are going so far?
Okay, wait, hold on. Are these guys switching side? Hold on. I think I have a game for us.
Okay.
It's going to be Screw versus NCV.
Awesome. So that's game 3 there. Okay, cool.
Yep, game 3. It's going to be in Solomon Islands.
Yep.
There is there's this, but they're not marking it.
If you're talking about the spreadsheet that's got the little bracket there, no worries, I got that up.
No, this is a yellow boxed. So we're going to switch over to Screw versus NCV. Map number 3. It looks like Screw is going to now switch to the Alpha spawn. They've been the Bravo spawn both times. And this is the map neither of them wanted to play.
All right. Who is the host again?
I'm not sure. You got to look at the description. We'll have Screw versus NCV. It's Airman.
Airman. Found it. All right. Let's go. Okay, so this is now Screw versus, let's get back to here. So Screw versus ENDCV.
I'm trying to use my Discord mute and I'm spamming chat.
Chat.
All right, perfect. So this should, regardless, this should end before the next one. And we'll have to keep an eye on, I mean, Sparkle Princesses, they were the underdog from the play-in round, playing against the number 1 seed. So if they somehow can win, that would be huge.
Wow. Okay, we got some differences in opinion on this map.
I love it. On the side of Screw, you have JS Holy Diver on the Nikolai the First, Fent the Reaper on the Palmern, Dead Horse 1911 on the Jeanbart, and X Troax and the Musashi.
Yep, and then over on the what do they call themselves? ENDCV side, we've got Light Beige in Massachusetts, Mobius, P51 in the Kremlin, Polanco in a Dreadnought, so now we have a tier 3 on this side, and Kurfürst, Ocean Liner 12 in a Kurfürst, I should say.
So, new picks, what are your thoughts? Which team has the better lineup?
So when it comes, I would say in terms of the lower tier ship, I would gladly take a Nikolai over a Dreadnought. Um, that being said, you know what? I'd love to have a Pommern as well because of the torpedoes and the secondaries that it brings to the table. Musashi's got overmatched, but they've got a Kremlin over there. Jean Bart. I don't like Jean Bart, but okay. I'd have to give a slight advantage to Team Red here, but only slight, I think. What do you think, Game?
Well, so I like the Musashi picks. Musashis have been very strong in this tournament. Pommerns have been very strong in this tournament. One thing I've seen with the Pommerns is they're not necessarily getting the chance to torp as much as they should be. Mm-hmm. Jean Bart, it's for this map, it has its strength. Another map, I don't think it's a strong pick here. Georgia made more sense if you're stuck in the tier 9 world.
Yep.
Makes a lot more sense than a Jean Bart, and it allows you if you're gonna have a Musashi, you have to have something tank,
right,
and take pressure off that Musashi so it can do damage. And I don't think Jean Bart's that pick, to be perfectly honest with you.
Yep. Now maybe I'm blind, but once again I am seeing a Kurfürst with no protection.
I mean, that has to be. That has to be. Are you seeing all rows of the flags?
Yeah.
I'm too old and blind to see this.
And light, yeah, because they're so much smaller now than they used to be. But light barge also in the Massachusetts is not wearing protection. Very interesting. Let's go take a look at Fen the Reaper. Yep, he's good.
See, this is the pro level I would never catch. So on the side of Screw, they are capping B with the Pommern. That's a smart pick. If something comes in and sneaks up on you, you have some defense.
Yep.
The Dreadnought is going to be able to stall that.
But I like the decision of breaking them up 2 and 2 in pairs.
On Screw's side.
Mm-hmm.
So typically what you see happen here is the Pommern will go and hold this cap until the Nikolai has a chance to make it
right
to that little safe area, and then he'll break off and join C.
Right, because then the Nikolai's got holding duty.
Look at this Jean Bart. Look at this Jean Bart. He's over-committing. Wildly
Dead
over-committing.
Horse? Oh, no, yeah. Dead Horse. Hit the engine boost and reverse me, dude.
Yeah. Oh, he's gonna pay dearly for this.
Well,
both secondary ships are getting a couple good salvos on him.
Fortunately for him, the only ship that could have punished his overextension really is that Massachusetts, and it doesn't look like he really got the punish. And Kremlin did his usual ball pens on the Jean Bart, because remember Jean Bart's got 32mm all around.
Well, and the Pommern is making an aggressive move. I don't know if he has to know the Kurfürst is there. Everything has been spotted. Is he just turning and stopping?
Mm-hmm.
And again, we're not seeing any teams setting up a trap. It looks like the Dreadnought is potentially setting up a trap, but that Pommern can hydro that out, and should at some juncture. Yeah, he's hydroed now. He knows he's right there.
He's literally just sitting at that point, just to stop point gain. That's all he's trying to do. But the big thing is can Dead Horse, because he lost half of his health, but he's still alive. So if he continues to back off, you can see that Light Beige already is trying to push in. Mobius is going for these super long-range shots, and it's very possible that Light Beige could end up overextending in an attempt to secure the kill on the Jean Bart on Dead Horse.
Well, do they know? They know the Musashi's there, and that's bad news for the Massachusetts. And that's the fallacy of these secondary ships. Can they push? Yes. Should they push? Probably not. Not when you have 2 entrenched ships.
Yep.
Your secondaries aren't going to do enough damage fast enough that you're just not going to be ripped apart. And if I'm Team Screw, I'm sending the Nikolai to A. He's not doing anything. You might as well get something from him.
Now, I feel like Dead Horse has made a slight mistake here in that he has backed up to the island. He's got nowhere to go except forward. should light beige pull forward. And Mobius, of course, is a nice shot on Dead Horse over the island. You can see Dead Horse, I think, realizing the mistake now, pulling forward, but he's got to be careful because if he gets within that 2-kilometer assured detection range, Mobius is going to just shoot him for free.
Well, and the Kurfürst has decided that he is going to at least move up and possibly... Okay, that double move. Dreadnought and Kurfürst are moving. This appears to be a trap to bait the Pommern out. Now, if the Dreadnought moves forward... I mean, the Kurfürst has to go forward first. You're going to see we're going to see a scramble in B. And the Jean Bart, if he's capable of backing up more, can potentially get some shots out here to help the Pommern, but he's moving forward.
Yep.
So we've got two battles going on. One in C, you've got the Jean Bart and the Musashi, both shooting at the Kremlin. The Massachusetts isn't able to shoot anything at this moment, but the real action is happening with the Dreadnought and the Kurfürst pushing, and you actually have to shoot the Dreadnought in this situation.
Yes.
Because of the ram threat.
Right, exactly.
I don't think you rely on torpedoes to potentially kill him. The Nikolai has come in. He's got some shots.
Ocean Liner just took a big hit. He's showing way too much side coming through.
I think the Pommern's trying... Pommern has 4 fires on him. 3 fires on him. Mm-hmm. Dreadnought's done a great job in that respect, and I think he didn't respect this Dreadnought, and he's going to die for it.
No.
Unless these torps hit.
Oh! Wow.
Now the ram makes sense.
Yeah, now the ram is fine, but you don't need the ram. Take a look at that hit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was beautiful. Oh, and we see it. A Tier 4 ship crushing a Tier 10 ship. That's the second time we've seen a low tier go.
Execution beautiful right there. Play.
Wow. That was awesome.
Look at light beige. She's pushed too.
Into a Musashi broadside.
Mistakes were made, ladies and gentlemen.
The all-go was called, and NCV paid the ultimate price.
They got screwed.
And they got screwed, and I wonder who actually got to pick the spawn for the second map, because there was a lot of complacency. They ignored A, and then all of a sudden it was just all go.
Yeah.
And when you know there's a Pommern there, all go is a risky proposition.
Absolutely. We're about to see now Dead Horse go out. He showed way too much side to Mobius earlier and got punished for it. Oh, no. But we're about to see a... No, denied.
No pre-turning of the guns, though.
Nope. That was meant to be a ram, but good maneuvering by Mobius. Doesn't really matter. I mean, now he's just going to get Robocopped anyway.
Well, and the Musashi is showing a lot of broadside and his cheek. And there it was. Yeah, I was going to say that Musashi could go down here. And the Pommern can't go down in one shot. It's a 2-shot thing. So you've got to keep some distance. Hope you can kill the Musashi. I mean, it's possible. It's not probable. But as we've seen in this tournament, defensive play, patient play is rewarded.
And that's, I mean, that's the battleship, right? That's not the super aggressive in your face. It's take the position, take the hits for the team, and make plays.
Well, and it's much easier to mitigate damage when you're the one playing defensively.
Yep.
If you're pushing in order to get to where you want to go, there's going to be moments where you have to expose critical parts of your ship, and it is or ram, and it's both of those options result in your potential death. That was excellent, though.
Yep. So in this particular game, then Screw is going to advance. Going up 2-0.
I wish they would. Yeah, I wish they would Okay, so there, NASA won it in 2. It looks like some teams are filling in the chart and others aren't.
NASA won it in 2. Okay. So NASA advances. So I literally just have it up in Paint, and I'm just adding it all together here. So Game 3 is Screw versus NASA. Do we know the result of Game 1 yet? WAP versus Sparkle Princesses.
Okay, Beer's messaging. Room is under his name, he said. We're going to find out. All right. It's Hold My Beer. Hold. It is Where Are Planes?
All right, which means they obviously won Game 1 and they advanced. So we're going to go ahead and fill in our chart here. So guys, those of you that are watching the stream, thank you for tuning in on a Saturday afternoon. This is another community-run tournament, Saturnalia, which is fantastic. You've heard of King of the Sea, I'm sure. You've heard of Warship Masters, and it's so cool to see that there is now a third player-run or community-run tournament up and running now. So we are, GameProdigy and I are going to be casting Game 5, which is set to start in 8 minutes. And that is going to be WAP, Where Are Planes, versus IPUSH, IPUSH. And it looks like Hold My Beer and Ashley, aka Ashley, are also going to be casting that particular game. And then there's a second game that's going to be going on as well. That's going to be Screw versus NASA, casted by Carry121, Epic Leveler, Wiz of AHS, and Kevasi. And then the winner of Game 5 and the winner of Game 6 will duke it out for the championship match, which myself and GameProdigy, as well as Hold My Beer and Ashley, aka Ashley, will be casting about an hour and 7 minutes from now. Keep in mind, guys, 5-minute delay. And the winnings, you can see the prize list over there on the left. We've got 70,000 doubloons, which is $280 worth of doubloons, are up for stake for first place. Second place gets 50,000. Third place gets 36,500. I believe that the prize pool was all crowd funded.
Correct.
Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff.
Well, so a little bit of spoilers here. Where Are Planes? Their strategy with the low tier battleship is what, you know, the one I was saying where they sat that tier 3 Russian battleship, I can never say its name, on the corner.
Ganaz, whatever it is, yeah.
It's Surov or whatever.
Yep.
And even on Two Brothers, he was driving that thing around. So MCAT X5 was the low tier ship player. It was some of the best low tier ship, like it had impact. And
awesome.
So keep an eye on MCAT X5 in this game, because you're not going to see what we just saw with the Mikasas floating around in the back. You're going to see him actively participate and potentially do some big damage. And
just resubscribed for 5 months.
Sounds exciting.
It's really exciting to watch.
All right, while we get into this, I'm going to do a quick ad to deal with pre-roll, and I'm trying something new, so I'm hoping this is going to work. But I'm going to wait until I'm watching the stream right now. I want to make sure that current stream ends. Yeah, just screw it. I won't bother with it right now. We'll do it another time. Because we are getting into our semifinal battle. And I need to update my scores. WAP, IPUSH.
They put him in the Mikasa. Oh. All right, on the side of IPUSH, you have a Robin 1213 in the Kremlin, Arkaze in the Jean-Bart Bravo, Container 137 in the Ohio, and Swagger Noodle in his trademark Mikasa.
Meanwhile, over on the WAP side, we've got Wandering Bread in the Republique. Have you seen a lot of Repubs in this tournament?
No. Twice.
Okay. We've got MCAT in the Mikasa, like you were commenting on earlier. We've got...
It reminds me.
Why?
Because he normally plays a tier 3 ship here. That means they've given up on that play.
Gotcha. Any Big Papa in the Ohio, and then we've got Dark Steel 77 in the Palmer. Now, I want to go back to that talk about the Republic for a second. I would, if I'm taking a French battleship because I want the mobility and speed that the French battleship brings, I'm taking not a Republique. You know, I'm taking a Bourgogne.
That's the question I have to add. Now, this is the #1 seed, so I will give them credit. But this is why we have Zaf. We have a pro here. what is a Republic bringing to the table that you can't get better from a Musashi, or hell, even a Jean Bart one step lower? It doesn't seem like it's bringing anything unique to the table.
The thing that the Republic brings is the mobility compared to the other battleships that you were just mentioning. It also has relatively punchy guns, but it's also kind of got a weak armor scheme. So, you know, if I would put it this way, I would take a Republic if I know that there are going to be tier 8, 9, 10 cruisers, because Republic's got the ability to overmatch bow and stern armor of those cruisers. That doesn't really matter in a battleship-on-battleship engagement, though.
Yeah, the only thing... Now, I don't have a Republic. Does it have a reload booster?
No.
So, you're going to be able to flank. And maybe they're making a play towards this island at E9, which is ballsy, to say the least.
Yep.
I mean, it's going to be out at no man's land. Now, what Wandering Bread has done very, very well throughout this tournament is utilizing islands to isolate ships. So once he figures out that this Jean Bart B is on the right side by himself, you're going to see him move forward into the right and use that island right in the middle or the right side of the D cap to isolate the Kremlin and the Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
That has been his standard play. Now they're bringing all of the ships over here, and the Mikasa is going to attempt to go and back cap A.
Yep.
So that's standard, and I think Robin is in a really good spot here.
Yeah, Robin is in a spot to prevent an advance. I mean, that's what you do at the Kremlin, right? You just throw him there and say, "Come at me."
And he can, if for some reason he gets blapped, don't overcommit, Robin. He can retreat behind this island.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so
look at that fire RNG.
No, we're not. Really?
Well, see, container started turning out. I think Papa saw... Exactly.
Oh!
Papa saw an opportunity to slap someone, and he took it.
Wow.
And the thing is that you could argue about the focus fire, but chunking down container that low to half health that early in the game, that's going to force him to play a little bit more passively than he might want. But Papa now taking a big hit in return by container. So both Ohios are basically slapping each other and taking these broadside citadels. Papa stopped and reversed, and because of that, he couldn't turn his ship.
And the Kremlin, that may push the Kremlin out, but I think Robin's not going to fall for it and is backing up.
So I think Papa is the one that's actually losing in this exchange here. He saw container, he wanted to get that shot, but in order to do so, he pulled out too far. Now Bread is under some assault here. And you can see Republic secondaries can reach Robin as well, because you can build a Republic for maximum secondary memes.
Well, you just said the key word there, memes.
Yeah.
Is he gonna be able to pen him with these, or is it all just for fire? I mean, he has 2 fires on him. Somehow lit a fire in the stern of the ship. Not sure how that happened.
Yep. It's got, well, you know, a little bit of arky, but
yeah.
Republic has the it's got the 100 millimeter secondaries, and then it's got 127s. The 127s might be able to pen. Definitely not the 100s. Even with IFHE, you're only hoping for superstructure hits there. And I think, honestly, you're probably specking, if you're specking for secondaries, you're specking for fire DPM with the Republic. So you're probably not bringing IFHE.
So it looks like both teams have managed to put some big chunks into the other. No one's been able to cap D. The Mikasa MCATX is still getting some value, going to be making his way towards A, and I think we're going to have a slap fight.
We are going to have definitely going to have a Mikasa slap fight, yes. The interesting thing is, on the D side, both teams have just kind of stopped for a second, and I think we're having a little bit of a seat squeak here, whereas both teams just angrily stare at each other, waiting for, who's going to make the first move so we can punish that move.
Well, I like what they're doing with Container. He's moving to a more central location to be able to focus on the Republic in a 2v1 situation with the Kremlin and have some safety from the Pommern and the Ohio. And it looks like Pommern's going to make the first move.
Yep. And he's backing, by the way, if you notice. Container is kind of like the sweeper. He's playing goalie right now, and he's putting himself in a position to support Swagger Noodle and the Mikasa should they run into the other Mikasa, of course, MCAT, which in a second they're going to know he's at A. And at that point, I think Container's going to go full speed to A to get an easy kill.
Well, he is very broadside to the Republic, and he got lucky there. The Republic has managed to open his secondaries up on the Jean Bart. And now Robin is seeming a little less... I mean, he's fine there against the Pommern.
The big problem is, look at Container shells. Nope, not as much as I thought.
On the Republic.
Yeah, our Kaze, though, is coming in, getting some decent shots. Looks like he's penning the upper belt of Wandering Bread's Republic, forcing Wandering Bread to realize that getting into secondary range might be fun and all, but not worth it if you're going to take hits from 3 ships at once.
But see, this is what I was talking about with Wandering Bread. He's using that island to keep him safe from the Ohio, and that's something he does exceptionally well.
Right. The only problem is that in the process of doing it, that also keeps him out of the battle with Robin. He's really only able to shoot our Kaze.
Well, you got to look at Container at a certain... You took a big hit at a certain point in time. The Kremlin's getting styled on by double secondaries. You're a secondary ship. At a certain point in time, you're either going to have to go... And Swagger Noodle took a ton of damage somehow. He took 4K from MCAT, with MCAT not taking any damage. Zerika's. So we have our Mikasa slap fight. You've got to get this Ohio in the fight, and they got to decide who they're going for. And the bigger threat is the Pommern at the moment. If that Pommern comes forward, then Torps. I think the Arakaze needs to potentially back up and switch onto this Pommern. They need to stop this advance.
That's exactly what he's doing. He's trying to switch positions on the island here, but Wandering Bread is going to keep him locked into a position where he cannot show broadside. Now, you mentioned Darksteel being the threat, but to keep in mind, Angry Big Papa is right in the torpedo arc. So even if Robin is close enough to be torpedoed by Darksteel, Darksteel is going to torpedo his own buddy. So I kind of feel like that's a little bit of a mistake in positioning there. But at the same time, if you look at how low Darksteel has gotten from the focus fire, it makes sense to keep him in the backfield.
Can you imagine? And I think it's going to come down. The big point spread is going to come down. So MCAT managed to cap A, but Swagger Noodle is stopping it. The big point spread is going to come to the Mikasa team that wins this out.
Well, and you can see... Yep, and look at where Container is. Container is in position if MCAT pulls out to shoot, but MCAT's not doing it. It's good positioning by Container, but yep.
So Darksteel has realized he's low. There's a decent shot on the Republic, and they're just letting the Ohio 1v1 the Ohio, which is going to give the Pommern time to heal. He's on fire, it looks like. So good mitigation of damage and making sure that you do not push in. And look at this. The Republic is getting shots on the Ohio.
Yep.
This has to prompt the Jean-Bart B to make a move. And if he backs up, he's going to have this Ohio's near broadside. He should be able to get a Citadel shot there if he keeps backing up in that direction.
And I think that's a mistake by Arkaze. He should have made that turn even with the chance of showing a broadside to the Repub. He had to get Darksteel down in order to tie things up. And because he got afraid of Wandering Bread's potential for citadeling him in the side, now he's forced to make this turn too late.
And he has his guns turned towards Wandering Bread. Wandering Bread's doing and all Wandering Bread has to do is move forward a little bit. Now, he's not firing AP at the moment. At least not for an there's so many damn secondaries, it's hard to tell what his main guns are.
Yeah, well, like I said, I think what Bread's strategy is just simply HE. He just wants to get as much fire chance and fire DPM out as possible. There we go. Angry Big Papa now taking taking a decent chunk here. He's on fire on the bow. That looks like it's gonna stick, and there he goes. Arkaze gets to seal the deal. But Container has taken a lot of hits, and Arkaze has as well. Darksteel able to heal back up.
Yeah, and that's from 6K. Oh, never mind. There it all goes. And Republic is little broadside to the Ohio if he can connect. Now, Swagger Noodle and MCAT 5 are still... I don't know what they're doing over. They're firing drunk shots from range. I think they both decided that a secondary brawl is too chaotic and too random as to who would win, and they're just going to try and fire it out. But
yep. Now Arkaze manages to survive the secondaries from the Pommern. All of those hit the deck and they shattered, unfortunately, or maybe it looked like it hit the deck and shattered. So Arkaze survives at 439 hit points. This is huge. If he's able to sit there for just a little bit longer and get a heal up, there it goes.
There it is. That could be the difference maker. Now, the Ohio most likely is going to be going down here, but he's going to get... Nope, he's healing too.
Container
wow,
pulls the heal.
At the perfect time.
Oh, look at that. Arkaze, beautiful, just coming right out. Wandering gets the kill, though.
Go down. And now it's just the Mikasa, and the Jean-Bart P is going to be able to cap D.
Yeah, brilliant play.
Swagger Noodle did a really good job in staying alive, not getting into that secondary fight. Two Mikasas shooting at each other from 4 kilometers out is going to do a minimal amount of damage over time.
And that's exactly what they want.
That was perfect. That's good strategy. I'm surprised to see the number 1 seed going down in a 3v3 battle, especially after that Ohio got cracked in the beginning.
It all comes down to that positioning. How are you using your ships?
Well, and the mental fortitude of IPUSH, when you're playing a competitive game and you see one of your big ships get halved in the first moments of the game, it is hard to pick yourself up out of that.
I will tell you what, though. If that Republic was a Burgonia, I think that could have been a very different result on that side there, because he could have popped his engine boost, got to the far side, the 10-line border, pushed up, and basically denied IPUSH's ability to just kind of sit and farm, which is eventually what ended up, helping to cause that loss for WAP over there.
Yeah, so they have A. I'm trying to figure out the points here. No matter what. No. If MCAT somehow kills Swagger Noodle in the next 16 seconds, which I don't foresee happening, then that would be game in favor of Where Are Planes. But it looks like IPUSH is gonna take this.
IPUSH grabbing that cap at D is what made this a decisive win.
Wow. Big game there.
I can see why you said you were having so much fun covering this tournament. I mean, it's just...
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So,
I love it.
Is Solomon Islands... Oh, wow. Okay. So this is my prediction. Okay?
All right.
If this goes 3, Where Are Planes wins this handily. The way they played Solomon Islands was quite possibly 3,000 IQ ahead of anyone else I've ever seen.
All
They're
right.
amazing. They're amazing on that map. How it is the third map, I would love to know. So you're going to get your first foray into Big Race Epicenter.
Love it.
And having not seen this, when they switch to the map, how would you what ships would you pick, and how would you position them?
For Big Race.
You have Torpedo Alley.
Yep.
Which is going to be on the left, and then you have islands on the right. So there's crossfires on this map. There's a ton of crossfires. What ships are you bringing, and where are you putting them?
So I am, let's see, if I'm doing this, I am going to bring Pommern, or a Tirpitz if I have to, or maybe an Odin. I might bring an Odin instead of a Tirpitz because it's got that hydro capability. But I'm bringing one of those 3, definitely. The torpedoes, the secondaries, and the guns, and the somewhat maneuverability, and the hydro. I mean, it's just a combination that's hard to turn down. I do think a mobility battleship like a Burgonia could be very advantageous on Big Race, because you want to get to either A or the 10 line as quickly as possible, because whoever gets to that corner, call it A10 if you want, whoever gets to that corner can command the flank. So I could totally see a mobility ship going that direction. I can see an argument for a Kremlin putting its nose in either the middle or in Torpedo Alley, one of those two. And I can see Ohio because it's on Ohio.
I mean, you basically picked out the meta. A French ship going up the east side. Now, the mistake teams have made is, and in the intro video of this event, there's a Grosser Kurfürst doing big damage on the east side.
Okay.
And bringing a Kurfürst there just seems silly to me. You're going to get so whoever's on that east side gets crossfire on what's sitting in Torpedo Alley, and I don't want a Kurfürst. I don't want a Kurfürst being the ship that I have to rely on the RNG and the dispersion to make those critical shots. Mm-hmm. French battleship sounds great. Kremlin sounds great. And there's 2 points on the map where if you're on the Alpha spawn, there's an island at G4. If you can get something to there, you basically cut off the entire left side.
Right.
Oh my god, they put him in a Mikasa again. This is like devenoming a snake. This is the saddest thing I've ever seen.
Well, you want to take us through their lineup?
Sure. On the side of IPUSH, you have Swagger Noodle rocking the Mikasa, Container 17-3 in the Ohio, Arkaze and the Jean Bart B, and Robin 12-13 in the Kremlin.
Yep, and over on the WAP side, we've got Darksteel this time, once again in the Pommern, I should say. We've got Angry Big Papa in the Ohio. I keep calling him Angry, but oh well. And it's the same lineup, MCAT in the Mikasa again, and Wandering Bread once again in the Republique. Somebody pointing out in chat, by the way, and in my chat saying, if that Pommern had IFHE, then it probably would have penetrated and killed the Jean Bart in that previous match, which very well could have forced a tie. I have to think back to all the points that happened at the time. That would have been crazy.
Yeah. I mean, why would you not have IFHE on the Pommern? And Luton's Pommern all the way up to the GK. It makes sense to have IFHE to get that pen damage. But he got hit pretty hard, so he was stuck behind that Ohio for a while. Okay, so we are seeing you hit the meta on the nose. The Republic is going down the 10 line, but weirdly enough, IPUSH is not putting anything in Torpedo Alley.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen this before. I've seen 2 ships go to the west, but always something holding down the Ohio, they've eliminated potential cross shots, maybe. But once the Pommern figures this out, he's going to have free flow into the islands, and that's dangerous.
Yep, Darksteel is going to just be able to just YOLO if he wants to. What I think IPUSH is trying to do is they want to win the flank, and they want to deny Wandering Bread the opportunity to come around and wrap around. So putting Arkaze, Robin, and Container there, if Wandering is able to be focused down...
And he's spotted, and they're all shooting at him.
Yep. If he goes down, then that allows them to roll up the flank.
Well, and any Big Papa has broadside shots at Container again. He learned from his mistakes. Okay. But the Republic is already down a third of his health, and that's huge.
Yep.
And for the side of where our planes, the only ship that has these broadside shots right now is eventually going to be the Pommern.
Oh.
And that's that does not have the high caliber guns that you want to be able to be making these shots. It's a Penner, not a Citadeller.
Yep. Wandering Bread is now forced to duck in for island cover. He's down already to half health. Guys, it's already been 3 minutes in the battle, not even, and he's at half health.
Now, one thing to notice, MCAT X5 has made to the second ring. And Swagger Noodle is nowhere close, and he's going to get spotted out by Darksteel because they gave up Torpedo Alley. So they're going to have pressure in terms of the second cap ring, but it looks like the Jeanbart B has moved in to stop that. Now, it does look like Swagger Noodle's dying, though.
Yep. And that's going to allow WAP to grab the outer ring, and that's going to give them points that they get to tick up for free. No, wait, Reset's coming in? Resets. Robin now is making a very daring play with that Kremlin. Can he shove around the island? If he can get Wandering Bread from the rear, he could deny Wandering what you were talking about earlier, right? His ability to hide behind islands and isolate opponents. Swagger Noodle
definitely going down here.
That's all he wrote. He put himself in a really bad spot there. And
I mean, it seems safe until you realize that all of your ships went east.
I mean, he almost would have been better off just going to E1, right? just sitting there.
But see, that's the utility of a Mikasa. Just it hurts my soul when I mean, like, you're bringing a Republic. Like, what is that getting you? I understand the Ohio, but for an Ohio, the price of an Ohio, I can get a Georgia. I understand the Pommern. And I never even thought of this, but for the price of a Pommern, you can get an Odin.
Right. Now,
and you're not really giving up anything.
No, you're not. Here's a mistake that I think Robin is doing right now with the Kremlin. He's turning into a kiting away position, which means he's not going to be able to put the pressure that he wants to on Bread. I'd like to see him be more aggressive here because he's gonna be opening himself up to these hits from either the Ohio or from Bread for a little while. The important thing is it's gonna take more time to kill Wandering Bread as a result, and that's gonna allow for WAP to kill Swagger and put themselves in a better position to counter IPUSH.
Well, and look at Arkaze now, because Wandering Bread is alive. He's sitting there very broadside to him. And if he pushes even an inch further, the Pommern is going to have him as well. Now, Pommern has moved forward. He's hunting Swagger Noodle.
Oh, yeah.
But Wandering Bread, he's turned a negative into somewhat of a positive. He hasn't done a ton of damage to Arkaze yet, but the potential is definitely there.
Yeah, he's holding them all back.
You're seeing him forced out finally, but I'm not sure what the Kremlin did there. Now he's basically stuck in the corner and has to back out.
Right, and if he wants to turn, he's going to show broadside to any Big Papa. Same thing with Container. And that's why I think they should have just come through with the plan of, taking those hits on Repub, keeping the armor angle to both of them, and been more aggressive, because it's just going to take too long for them to get back in the fight now.
Well, and that's giving Darksteel and the Pommern time to sneak up behind them.
Yeah.
They don't know. Do they know where he's at? They see him, so they know he's coming, but they have complete control of the western side of the map because the Mikasa was holding it down from the Pommern.
Now, thanks to this map being so small, secondary builds, as you can see, are somewhat useful, as Container just craps secondaries all over any Big Papa. And Arkaze took that shot a little too early. Some shots clipped the island.
But this is looking pretty good for them. Any Big Papa is low. Kremlin has been able, even though he took a ton of damage, there he goes.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's going forward again. So Pommern's going to have to hero this out with the Mikasa. And I hate to say it, but it looks like where our planes is going to lose here.
We'll have to see. As obviously, Darksteel is going to be the focus fire target for IPUSH. I think the big question is, can Darksteel, he's in the cap. I think he's... I don't agree with the decision to show broadside here. I think he should just kind of slowly keep an angle and just deny the point gain more than anything else. But I just don't know why he went in the middle cap there.
Well, I mean, he originally was coming over to flank them, and that was when the Ohio and I agree with you. Republic is just a crazy pick, and this is shocking because where our planes, they played some next level games with their strategies and what they did, and to see them bring out a Mikasa for the first two games of the semifinals just hurts my soul. MCAT was such a critical player. It's like taking your quarterback and saying, you know what, we're gonna let the kicker throw. And granted, he was the tier 3, but like, he was making a difference. And now he's just chilling in a Mikasa.
Yep.
I don't understand it.
So what we're gonna see here probably is a slingshot. I like to call it a slingshot. You come around the island. Once you break, turn hard in. It allows you to go into a bow in perspective, and you just go for it, because at this point that's the only thing left. There's 5 minutes and 45 seconds. He's not doing it. Interesting. He's just going to keep backing off.
I mean, maybe potentially a heal. Your only option here is torp.
They're up on points, so they're probably figuring if Darksteel is able to stop the point gain on the outer ring, and MCAT is able to stop the point gain on the middle ring, then they still win. As long as they can get as long as Darksteel can survive. And I say that now as he gets chunked.
Yeah, that's not happening. He's on fire too.
Right. And as long as he's able to get resets is the other critical part of that equation. So too little.
Huge upset in the process.
Well, and you're talking about the caliber of the players and stuff like that. I mean, absolutely no disrespect to IPUSH when I say this, but I don't recognize any of those players. Maybe Container's a somewhat familiar name to me, but obviously MCAT and Darksteel, like, I know these players. I know that they are very competitive, and they've got this competitive pedigree to them. So to see something like this happen is great for a couple of reasons, right? I mean, you get the upset, like you were talking about, as you can hear the horn of winning is being sounded, and then the
horn of winning.
And the other part of it is you get to see players starting to make names for themselves, which I love seeing in this game.
Yeah, and I've gotta go look and see while we're waiting here. Of course I clicked out of the sheet. I want to see how they made it into here. If they played in, it's gonna be craziness.
Yep. You can hear more horns of winning being sounded.
Alright, let me see here.
As MCAT is stubbornly delaying the result of this game.
I mean, in a Mikasa, and that's like very good player. They're still technically ahead. He just, I mean, so on this map, it was an Ohio versus a Mikasa. The Mikasa stayed alive long enough against an Ohio in order to sneak a win.
Okay.
I don't think that happens in this situation.
Oh God,
to be
no.
Perfectly honest.
No, look at Robin's positioning in the Kremlin. They're gonna pop MCAT like a pimple here in a second. So that's over. And look, I mean, Container's even doing some shore bombardment while he comes in, and I think we're gonna see the ultimate disrespect here. I think we're gonna see a ram.
Oh boy. So I do have that information. IPUSH was the 5th seed they had to play in order to win this. So this is a huge run by them. And it looks like they're going to take it in 2. We're going to have to check out.
Yeah, that's it. They go 2 up.
That's it. That's 2. We'll have to see what the other game is doing. Wow. Is your game frozen? There we go.
I'm tabbed out because I am updating the bracket right now. So WAP gets eliminated. IPUSH moves on to the final game.
Wow. So on the other side, it looks like Screw won game number 1. Let me see if we can. You guys will play in the 3rd place fight.
Yep.
Yeah. So they from. What is it? I'm like stuck.
It's okay. I know that Beer is going to run the final, but I want to see if that other game is up and we can cast if it goes to game 3.
Oh yeah. That's
Screw
what I'm looking
versus
for.
NASSA.
I gotta exit the game.
Found it.
Nothing is working on my game.
Wiz is running it.
Hold them up for me, please.
Yeah, they're in game right now. They're playing Two Brothers. Isn't that the first map?
That is. It changes.
Okay.
It's their 2nd map.
Okay.
So. Okay. I'm like stuck in warships.
Guys, while we figure this out, I'm gonna run a quick 2-minute ad to deal with pre-roll and stuff like that, and to test out my timer to see if this works. But I'm gonna wait a little bit till the game ends, just in case things get screwed up.
There you go, warships.
And
while this is restarting, I'm going to do the same thing. I'll be right back, everyone.
And I need to do something else. Followers of my channel know I have a bit of a tradition when it comes to our last game. I'll talk about that though when GameProdigy returns. Here's a hint.
I'll be right back. I'm going to run upstairs.
If you've got good ears, you heard what was just happening. Meanwhile, Stevie is currently showing us his butt. Although I think there he goes. Now he's decided it's time to go back into sleep mode.
All right, let's see if the game actually works. Oh, it loaded me back into the spectator thing.
Yep. Let's see, this is NASA versus Task Force 34. No, sorry, Screw.
Screw.
Yeah. All right, so
Wandering Bread has come over here.
Yeah, MCAT too. I think they want to see what the results are as well. So, GameProdigy, I have a bit of a tradition.
Okay.
So my tradition is when I go to my final match, there's always a little dirty water involved. So
Ooh.
I have gone ahead and poured myself a little bit of dirty water. I can put it on Stevie Cam for a sec so you guys can see. There it is. And cheers to you, my dude. Thanks again for being a co-caster.
Salud.
Having a ton of fun today.
Glass. I mean, it's a nice little something different.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing I'll say about this tournament is all of the players have been really, really receptive to having their game streamed, win or lose. And I've been I try and point out the really smart things that people do, but I also try and point out the mistakes. And you know, even though some people aren't necessarily being shown in their best light, they're very receptive to it. So I'm very thankful.
Right. Absolutely.
It's tough. It's tough to tell people that are, you know, some are way better than I am, to be like, oh, they made a mistake here, or what were they thinking with this ship? But it's the fun of casting. And I'm hoping so let's think about this. This game has to be very close to being done if they started on time.
Yep.
But it's going the full 15 for sure. So it's one of these. I want to say NASA is the team that plays. Yeah, because we've seen Screw that plays a very, very deliberate game. And while it's not the fast and go shoot game that people particularly like, I like seeing the very strategic games where it's, you know, plan, counterplay, counterplay, counterplay. You get some of it, and we've had a few games like that. All right, let's see what happened.
I'm pouncing on this. Pouncing on it.
Oh, I hope it's. Uh-oh. One all way to go. I don't know what that means. 1-1.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Uh-oh. What just happened to me?
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm seeing the delay.
We are going to cast Game 3 of Screw versus NASA. Right? Because we have to wait anyway. Okay. Excellent. Now, going back to what you were talking about earlier, about having players having their games streamed. Sure, there's always the possibility of a big F-up, right? And you know, having that happen on stream. But the thing I like about casting is it gives you a chance to, one, hear your name, which, believe it or not, there once was a time when nobody knew who the heck I was, and I was just a regular player. And I remember the fun that I had playing a tournament that was run by some players. I think it was, God, I can't remember the name of the clan off the top of my head. Maybe it was STW. And it was a death race that they had set up, and it was so fun just hearing my name being called out by the couple of people that were casting it. And it was just a ridiculous game where we just sailed around in Atagos or whatever, and then you had to torp Little White Mouse in order to win, and she was in an Essex. And it was hilarious, right? And just to hear your name and stuff like that was fantastic.
Well, and not just that, the progression of getting better competitively requires viewing yourself.
Uh-huh.
And when you're just playing the game, and this is why I like your replays. When you're in the midst of doing something and you're in those views, you don't get to see a top down of the battle. You don't get to see all the different pieces that were going on.
Yep.
And you're very focused on what's happening with just you and your ship. So being able to see your ship in that top-down fashion makes a huge difference, and it allows you to critique your play in a way that is better, is more. You have more information. You can say, like, had we been able to figure this out, or like, with the information we had, should we have been able to know what was going on?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, that kind of stuff, and that's why I stream clan battles and the such, because I like seeing the after the fact, win or loss.
Right.
I think there's information to be gained from that.
It was nice. One thing I like about being able to spectate is, since you see both teams from the beginning, you can get an idea of how the enemy deployed right off the bat, and it gives you a chance to think about, like, what would if they have done differently, if they would have gone someplace else? How was our deployment compared to what they could have done differently? And also, I think it gives a chance for people to say, what signs did we miss to tell us what the enemy deployment was? Remember, there's no carriers here, so you have to wait about 3 minutes before you have an idea of what the enemy's doing. Even if you have radio position finding or radio location, whatever, you still don't necessarily know for sure until a ship gets spotted where they are.
Hold on 1 second.
No worries. Looks like Kevasib has to restart. We're at the process. We are just kind of chilling right now, waiting for a little bit to see what's going to happen before we get into this battle, guys. It is what it is. This is a part of the process. Is, it takes a little bit of time for everything to get up and running.
So the winner of this, I just had a couple people come in from Half Fodder raid. I'm filling them in on what's happening.
Oh, nice.
It's 1v1. The other branch of the bracket has been solved, and it was the underdog.
Yep.
Beating the number 1 seed, which is huge.
Absolutely.
To get their place into the finals, the winner of this tournament gets was it 75,000 doubloons, 7,500. It was 200 some bucks worth of.
Yep.
I have this information.
The winner gets 70,000 doubloons. It's
70,000. Yeah.
$280 worth of doubloons. Second place gets 50,000. Third place 36,500.
Yeah, it's so. We know that IPUSH is guaranteed at least 50,000 doubloons. Now the question is how they choose to distribute that. It's 4v4, but they can have, I think, as many as 8 or 9 subs. So you got to figure, 10,000 doubloon guarantee. It's not a bad few days work.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. The fact that there's a cash prize, or at least a doubloon prize in this is great, because it allows for teams to dole out prizes based off of participation, based off of impact, however they want to do it. But what's so great about it, though, is they just get to go out here and play this game in a competitive environment in a way that we've never seen before. I mean, 4 versus 4 battleship is crazy. It's
a ton of fun.
It's awesome. I mean, it makes you wonder, can they do a 4 versus 4 cruiser? Can they do a 4 versus 4 destroyer? And would those be as interesting? I don't know.
I mean, so 4v4 battleship, cruiser definitely. Destroyer would be chaotic. It would have to be epicenter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, otherwise you're hiding out in caps. I mean, I don't know. That could be crazy. High level destroyers versus low level destroyers can torp high level destroyers easily.
Well, it's a lot of torpedo jousting and following the torpedoes where they're going and stuff like that. So, yeah.
I mean, I would be really interested in. I think a cruiser battle would be great, because you would see a lot of depth strikes potentially. And in games where there is no DD and you have to cap in a cruiser, it's the scariest thing in the world to do.
Yep.
I mean, what is that? What is a capping cruiser in your humble opinion?
I mean, anything that with the bow in thing, so like a Stalingrad Moskva would be good picks. So.
Yeah, why are they not dropping us down?
I don't know. I'm gonna message Wiz here.
Yeah. We have a guy that has to leave here pretty soonish. What happens if you guys make it to the finals?
Well, you just said
have
that
they not considered that?
Well, two things. One, you just said that they could have 5 on their roster, so they'll just rotate
they have
somebody.
several on the roster, but that would stink.
Worst case scenario, you put him in a Mikasa bot, and who cares?
It's true.
So actually, believe it or not, this tournament actually does kind of allow for one person to be a bot.
Wait, what is happening? There.
Ah, there we go.
Wait, you're okay. There we go. Okay. Panic! Absolute panic.
People get.
I don't think the other two get to spectate this. That would be. Yeah, there we go. And we're underway. Ay. The pure panic of it. So Solomon Islands. Now this is traditionally the first map, and we have seen Screw tonight bring in the Nikolai. And if you got to pick, Mikasa versus 2-3 tier 9s. I mean, I'm getting ahead of myself, but all right. On the side of NASA, you have Doommaster 427 in the Ohio. World War II Junkie and the Mikasa Inflamed in the Kerfers, and the Rai Guy and the Jean Bart Bravo.
And then over on the Screw side, we've got JS Holy Driver in the Nikolai, Fend the Reaper in the Pommern, Dead Horse 1911 in the Jean Bart, and Troax in the Musashi.
Now, Screw they were successful in this, but they were in the Alpha spawn last time.
Yep.
Where they brought the Musashi up, and they're going to have a little bit more room to work. They played together, so we have a good... Their game plan is. They put the 3 of them together, right?
Yep. I kind of feel like Screw knows what they're doing here, but we haven't seen the other team yet. So... am I seeing this right? Oh, possible mistake? Nope, there they are. The signal flags on the Jean Bart are hidden.
Okay. The Jean Bart or Jean Bart B? Jean Bart B is a streamer. Rai Guy.
Dead Horse.
This wasn't the team that potentially had the flags down.
That's what I'm checking. So
they're bringing the Nikolai towards B. It looks like it's going to be the same thing that they did on the Alpha side. Pommern's going to go in first. Mm-hmm. And hold the middle. Nikolai is going to go in shortly thereafter. Now, they actually push with the Nikolai. And this was one of the disadvantages of streaming this. And this is something, if I've made it to this point in the tournament, these teams, there's only so many different things you can do on these maps. Yep. It makes you predictable. And so if these people have gone and done their homework, they have an idea of how they're going to deploy. And so that knowledge, knowing what ships they're likely to bring, knowing where they're likely to go, has huge ramifications.
Okay, I am legit confused because Inflamed in the Kerfurst is not wearing protection. Is this a theme here? Like,
there has to be. Are you seeing them all from the right way? I don't have that level of knowledge that you do. I'm
looking at them all right now. He doesn't have Juliet Charlie. He can possibly detonate.
I mean, we'll have to see it. So the Musashi gets a big hit on Rai Guy right off the beginning, but he is going to be able to dive the island at sea. And it looks like the Pommern is going to get a huge advantage. And because the Ohio I think he swiveled right in the beginning.
Yep.
They may get a quick cap on B unless this Mikasa hits the afterburners. 4v4 CV, they're saying. I'd watch that too. To be honest with you, I'd watch that too.
Well, and my chat's saying it too, and I'll tell you what, it's probably because it's put in he's both in chat, but I'll tell you what though, keep in mind that I believe there's a limitation in the game coding. They can only allow for 3 carriers in training rooms.
Oh, thank God. There is a merciful God out there. All right,
now, if
so
you really want to troll somebody, 3 versus 3 carriers, and then you add like 1 battleship or 1 destroyer, and just watch them get wrecked. Sorry, anyway.
Well, and so Dead Horse again is on that point, and he's learned his lesson a little bit, but he likes that point, and he likes going right up to it, and now he's in the secondary range of the curve first. Ryguy's not able to shoot on him, so...
Now, mind you, the curve first is armed with 128mm secondaries all around, and then also some 150s. These secondaries follow the 1/4 HE pen rule, which means they can natively penetrate 32mm armor, which is what the Jean Bart has all around.
Well, so, and the Curvers is putting huge damage on Dead Horse, and Ryguy's pushing up more than he should be.
Oh no!
Because this could happen.
Big mistake!
Oh! Oh, he got stuck on the island.
Oh my God, that could have been catastrophic for Ryguy. I'm clipping that. Wow.
I'm giving him crap about that. That was, I mean, that was a lot of risk for very little reward. The Kerfers had him killed handily.
Right.
In 30 more seconds. That his guns didn't need to be a part of that. Now, the Kerfers is going to be able to push into the Musashi. The Musashi overmatches the Jean Bart. Am I correct on that?
Yes.
So he's got to play a little bit more conservatively, let the Musashi engage with the Kerfers, and then pop out when he gives his cheek. If he gives his cheek, and if not, he's going to have to just let the Kerfers do work. Now, in the meantime, the Nikolai is coming through and is spotted in B.
Yep.
And the Mikasa is holding.
What needs to happen, though, Ryguy needs to pull out right now. He needs to start jumping in on this fight with the Musashi. He's got to at least get him going on fires. He just fired an AP salvo. Trying for that cheek, but it's not hitting. Inflamed is on fire. And we'll be going down momentarily here. Next salvo from the Musashi from Trovax.
Well, and as long as he's putting big damage on this Musashi, in the meantime, the Jean Bart B should be able to take him down, and the Ohio should win against this Nikolai.
Well,
and
but the big question is, can Trovax convert this into a 2-kill battle by getting Ryguy as well? If he's able to ram Ryguy, then he's doing fine.
And he's got to be either HE or hitting that supercharger at this point in time. Throw that speed boost on if you have it.
Yep. Try
and delay as much as possible, because it's going to take you potentially 2 or 3 salvos to kill him. And the Musashi's bearing down, but the Mikasa, is that a legendary Captain Mikasa? And the Musashi's healing. Ohio needs to switch targets. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Throw those secondaries on there. That's going to let the Pomeran come forward from B and potentially get the Ohio's broadside. But even a Citadel on the Ohio is less detrimental than the Jean Bart B going down.
Yep. And yes, Yamamoto is on board the Mikasa.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's amazing. There was a shot in this tournament where a Musashi fired over his teammate's bow to stop I want to say a Nikolai from ramming. It was the most impressive shot of the game. I'll have to show it to you. So Ryguy escaping death twice.
Yeah,
and
pretty much.
That's going to do it, unless this Pomeran somehow torps the Ohio, torps the Mikasa, maybe? I mean...
Yeah, that's exactly what he's going to have to do. He's going to have to pull forward enough to nail World War II Junkie and kill the Ohio and somehow, like, not die.
Well, they don't have the points, so both teams basically abandoned A.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if you're bringing these Mikasa's and Nikolai's. You gotta bring them over there. That does it. So interesting fact. We've seen out of the 3 Pomerans we've seen, only one has gotten a torp kill, and it was on a tier 4 battleship.
Huh.
Pomerans haven't been, those torps have not been playing, but that's it. NASA wins. I'm in the mentality that that's game 1, because this is always game 1.
Right.
So we have our final set. It's going to be NASA versus IPUSH. And let's see how they came into this tournament. NASA was the number 2 seed, so no surprises there. And it looks like everyone from the blue group has been eliminated, so it's number 5 versus number 2.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. So what we end up having, guys, in our finals is, like we said, IPUSH versus NASSA, and then in the loser bracket is going to be Where Are Planes versus NASSA. That's going to be cast by Carry121, Epic Leveler, Wiz of AHS, and Kevasib. Wiz and Kevasib, thank you very much for letting us come in and cast that last game.
We appreciate that.
Very much appreciated.
All right, yeah. Wait, NASA versus Screw. Question mark versus IPUSH. All right, room is up.
All right, let's go and check it out. Question mark versus IPUSH. So Hold My Beer basically went ahead and just set it up and got ready. So it's going to be... Let him know it's going to be NASA versus IPUSH.
Yep. I may have shown a little bias by saying go question mark. Ocean exhibition match to start.
Okay, $10 on the line. This is interesting. As I'm looking at the game right now, and they just got to witness the failed ram.
Oh yeah, I mean that was a difference maker, if you think about it, because Kerfurst goes down faster.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't have to worry about the Jean Bart.
Mm-hmm.
And Nikolai didn't have to push into B against the. I mean that triggered a lot of things, and that's if that was Hidden Island. I mean, he was tempting fate, and that's he had messed up. He had gotten he got placed against a ship that you came into his secondaries all pen you, and if they're somehow not, they're lighting you on fire.
Mm-hmm.
So you had to overcommit, and in the process of that, pretty big fail. Not gonna lie. I mean, I thought he had it. I thought he had it for sure, and that was a Rye Guy fail turned into oh god, who I can't remember who the player was. I can look here. I have it on my sheet. That was NASA versus Screw. It was on Screw. Dead Horse.
Okay.
So that's he made 2 mistakes on the point of that island. He's probably not too happy with himself right now. But you know what? It came down to game 3. That's all you could really ask for. The unfortunate consequence of battleship play is even if you have the better battleship, sometimes they can just ram you.
Mm-hmm.
So, having spacing between you and the enemy matters, and having enough spacing that if they do decide that they're going to take your ship, you give yourself an opportunity.
Right.
But are they serious about this exhibition?
I don't know. We'll find out.
This is news to me.
I mean, like they said, $10 is on the line, so...
Is that divided 4 ways?
Who wants 250?
Yeah. Too close for comfort. It is clipped. Oh, that fail ram.
Yep.
I like the titles.
Yep. Puddin did it on both sides. It's awesome.
Oh, Puddin. That's amazing. I mean, he technically has it on Ocean right now.
Yeah. Oh, and Toxic, by the way, shout out to Toxic for pointing out what we didn't even notice, that the Mikasa killed the Musashi. Ultimate betrayal.
Really? Really? The Mikasa killed the Musashi?
Yep.
That's a hell of a shot.
Yeah.
That was like over an island of Mikasa shot then. Or did he push? I mean, that wow. It's awesome. That's the second Mikasa to take down a high level ship. Maybe third.
Right? Awesome stuff.
What's happening here? All right, teams are being moved over. Let's see what the order is. Oh, do you know why it's Ocean? They haven't picked. That's what they were doing. It's easy to forget these things. So, maps aren't okay. Maps for the third place team are picked. It's going to be Big Race 2 Brothers. We're waiting to hear from the teams on the map picks. So it looks like Bravo Spawn is going to be the side of NASA.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't know what map yet.
It's all good.
So strategically, if you have to choose between Solomon Islands, Big Race, and 2 Brothers, what is the map you don't want to play, and what is the map that you do want to play?
I don't want to play 2 Brothers, and I want to play Big Race.
Why?
2 Brothers is too large for a smaller group, 4-on-4, especially if you're going to have one straggler ship. So it's in reality a 3 versus 3. And I feel like it's a little bit too difficult to be able to isolate targets, and because of the natural 3-lane setup on the map, it leads to some very boring gameplay. We saw that before already with the Mikasas just off on their own, playing their own minigame for most of the time. And then I would definitely want to do a Big Race because it's a small map that has plenty of islands to be able to use to your advantage, and I feel like it really does bring out the best in players. Solomon Islands, I feel, is too close to 2 Brothers, which kind of, causes a little bit of a kind of a deal,
Really? So, well, I agree with you on 2 Brothers. It's too random.
Yeah.
In the sense that your initial setup could screw you.
Yep, exactly.
And if the enemy team has done their homework and you're consistent, you're in trouble. But strategically, the same could be said about if you know what the enemy team is going to do, you can have a pretty big advantage there. But it's too easy to get caught out and wait too long for another ship to come to your rescue. Big Race is a tough one for me because you got to have teams that can hit cross shots. If you do, then hell yeah, I'm all over that.
Right.
If you don't, and you're more of a secondary chip damage points team, then that's a big risk of a map. And again, we saw just that last game we had on it. Teams went all of a sudden to the east, which is crazy. There's so much protection in Torpedo Alley, and yet there's not.
Right.
So, I mean, you get good fights on that map. I'll say that much. It's exciting. And Solomon Islands is you're right. It's too one-dimensional. Every team is basically ignored A.
Yep, exactly. That's the problem that I have with those kinds of maps. So while we have a second, Game, can you do me a favor and just keep an eye on what's going on in the training room? I went back out to port for a second because I thought people might want to see a couple new battleships that are coming soon in .tm.
Ooh, yes.
You know the ones I'm talking about.
I do. I made a whole video on it, and it when I left this morning to let it render and came back, my external hard drive it goes to crashed at 98%.
Oh no.
So the video I ended up putting out had no voiceovers because I was not doing full voiceovers again. I was so pissed.
It's all good. But I'll tell you what, guys, you've got those of you that are battleship lovers, and if you're watching this, you probably are just that. There's a couple battleships coming up soon.tm that I think you're going to want to get your hands on. Obviously, can't comment on gameplay characteristics, which are NDA.
You can.
Well, maybe you can. For me, as a tester, I always no. But I can definitely show you guys the ships in port, as you guys can see. And GameProdigy, if you want, after I'm done showing these ships off, I can go back in training room and you can show your viewers the ships.
I'm lazy with my viewers. We're gonna play them after this.
There you go.
So you guys have to wait. Tough bananas. Go
there
watch
you go.
that.
I'll tell you what. The thing that I love about the Strassbourg, it's got a butt anchor, so that you know how OP it is. And it's also apparently it's in Hamburg right now. That's kind of ironic. Where'd the Hizen go? There it is. Does the Hizen have a butt anchor? No, but it's got something on the butt. What does it say? I don't know. I can't read Japanese. Anybody in chat able to read Japanese?
Something in Japanese on it?
Yes, on the butt of the Hizen, it says something that the camo has something on it.
Oh, yes.
And it almost...
Is that how you say it? Hizen?
Yes.
Oh, I'm way off then.
At least I think so. That's how I'm pronouncing it. What are you calling it? The Hizen?
I've been calling it Hizen.
Hmm.
Then again, I'm bad at that.
Yeah, I don't know. But I'll tell you, the camo is beautiful on it. And I love all the flags. And this, like, special, like, thing that's opened up on the bow. It's beautiful.
On the Hizen?
Yeah.
It looks like it can house a full Olympic-sized swimming pool on the deck.
Right?
That is the thickest ship thus far.
And I love that on the back part, I love that little wing that they added to kind of make it look almost like Yamato-ish. Give you a little bit of that Yamato-Izumo mix.
You're the pro. Will you look at the armor of it and tell me if there's a cheek on that? It looks like there's a quasi-cheek.
Yeah, actually. There is a slight cheek. It's nowhere near as pronounced as the Yamato's. But it looks like it is. Let's drop this. It's very small. It's right by the...
Yeah, but it has one.
Yeah, but that's going to be hard to reliably hit. Now, if you can penetrate that 380mm athwart ship from that cheek, and your shell can then penetrate the 115mm Citadel armor deck slope, but that's nowhere near the same as a Yamato. Guys, for reference, here's a Yamato, and you can see the cheek I'm talking about here. That's that Citadel athwart ship, 350mm, and that's it. Boom. Right from that angle, and you can see how big of a cheek that is.
It's tiny, but like it's there. Okay, so I don't know if they're actually exhibitioning, but they're on ocean. 7 out of the 8. Okay, come back.
Coming back.
Been summoned.
I am being summoned. All right, cool.
So they are. I think they're doing, for some reason, I don't know why, an exhibition on ocean. It's going to take them, if it's 15 points, it's going to take them 4 minutes just to spot something.
Mm-hmm.
All right, apparently this is happening. You didn't get a chance to look at the Strassbourg?
No. That's okay though. Like you said, you're gonna check it out afterwards, so that's perfect.
Well, I'm hoping to actually get footage with me talking about things this time. I spent so much time. I spent so much time working on that stupid thing.
So I'll tell you, and guys, those of you watching, I apologize if you take offense to this, but I'm finding myself sometimes feeling a little lazy when it comes to trying to create all these kinds of content for all of you viewers. You guys deserve it, of course, but I just don't have time to be able to play the game myself and create content and play other games too, and work and have a job and, you know, be married and have a life. And so, like, a lot of what I do is you know, live on Twitch and then done kind of on the fly, and then I post that stuff to YouTube afterwards, you know?
I mean, you're still doing more than I do with all of that. That's the sad part. I just discovered the highlight export to YouTube thing.
Yeah. What?
Well, it keeps I'm looking, I'm like, there's a tier 3, tier 3, tier 2. Okay, they're actually doing this exhibition. It keeps the video after I make so many different sub highlight portions of it. It like blacks out and then I have to start again. It was very frustrating.
So they must have lowered the limit to force
15.
a smaller.
It's at 15.
Yeah. All right. Well, take us through the green side over there.
Yeah, on Team IPUSH, you're going to have Arkazi in the South Carolina, Container 137 in the Dreadnought, Robin 1213 in the Scharnhorst, and even in the exhibition, Swagger Noodle gets the Mikasa. You think they could give him like a tier 3 during this?
Oh, that's a meme in itself. So over on the
Swagger Noodle.
Poor guy, right? Over on the NASA side, we've got Ryguy and an Octorev. Now that's a good pick at tier 5, and we got, of course, the Mikasa Inflamed this time, casting that or running that one. We've got Doom Master in the Julio Caesar, and then we've got World War II Junkie, and of all things, a World War I ship, the Koenig Albert.
Well, and out of all the tier 7s to pick, Scharnhorst is the one that is not going to overmatch the Julio and the Revolution. So that advantage is gone. It does have torpedoes, but I mean, I love the Scharnhorst. Favoritist tier 7 battleship, but you're gonna have to. They're gonna have to stay honest about it, and they are actually splitting up Ocean.
Swagger Noodle isn't moving. I wonder if he crashed or if he's literally just been told to sit still. But I'll tell you what, if I'm Swagger Noodle, I'm hitting the S key and reversing to the corner if I'm actually playing, if I'm in the battle. By the way, check out that new camouflage, beautiful camouflage on that Swagger Noodle's Mikasa there.
I mean, he's having fun with it. I give him the utmost credit. But, like, if I'm on that team right before I'm going, guys, you know, you can't give me tier 3 and you're giving him 7 in an exhibition, like, I'm shooting at my teammates.
That's like, if you've ever seen the movie Mr. and Mrs. Smith, it's one of my favorite movies with Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie.
Good movie.
And there's one part where they're dividing up the weapons and ammo, and Pitt gives Angelina Jolie a gun. It's a pistol. And she goes, "Why do I get the girl gun?" And he stops and looks at her. And he gives her, I don't remember what he gives her, but she's like, "That's better." Love that movie.
Well, Julio, overpowered ship for tier 5. Great pick. The King Albert, we've actually seen in the battles, good fire starter. You got guns on basically, you can get what 10 guns on if you're basically full broadside, but you get some fire chance. Not a bad pick.
Yep.
These poor Mikasas. I wonder if Swagger Noodle's the only one who's bought a Mikasa. That should have been part of the prize package.
Everybody gets a Mikasa
for everyone.
That'd be great. Speaking of Mikasas, Inflamed is not running any flags at all.
I mean, this may be his first go in the Mikasa.
Right.
maybe this would have been a good time to give the high tier battleship players a taste of what it's like to attempt to make it to the A cap in a Mikasa. We're 4 minutes in, and they haven't even made it to a cap yet.
Yep.
Oh, we have our first Julio versus Sharn. Took 4 minutes for them to get there.
I feel like Doom Master is being a little too aggressive in that Julio. He's going to be forced to turn up now.
2080 is now following.
I think
he plans on turning out.
Well, I see. That's the thing, though. The Scharnhorst wants you to come close, so I think Doom Master is taking a great ship, and he's going to possibly misplay that, but we'll have to see. Rye guy going into A now.
And the Mikasa realizing by the time he would get to A, it would already be capped. So he's going to head to B, but I'm guessing the same thing's going to happen. The I never say that correctly. Revolutia? There it is. Took a second. Is going to be able to cap A and make it to B faster than this Mikasa. Mm-hmm. The Sharn's actually losing this battle.
Well, I mean, the thing is that he's kind of... They're both... kind of in there. Sharn now giving up and turning around. That's a good decision, but yeah, you're right. It's going to cost him a good amount of hit points in the process.
Well, and now the South Carolina and Dreadnought, and while we're looking at these low tier ships, the most amazing part of this entire experience for me has been watching tier 3 battleships Citadel Kremlins. Like when and it's been reflected in my play, because now when I'm sitting there in a tier 7 battleship against a tier 9, I'm not going like, well, I can't do anything. I'm going like, if a tier 3 can take on even one tier higher than that, like, I can do some work here.
Absolutely.
So it's all about taking those shots when they matter.
Yep. It's something that I always like to comment on. It's not the ship, it's the player, and what the player does with what's available to them. It's one of the reasons why when I do the like the turkey event and the pumpkin event and other events where I get a special account and, yay, go kill me and get doubloons, I never spec up captains or upgrades or any of that kind of stuff. I don't even put flags on the ship, because it's a great way to point out to people, hey, look, if you know what you're doing as a player, you can do really well. I mean, the last time I did that, I had like a 73% win rate.
I watched. It was. You got to be a good player first. You've left out that key piece of information.
No, but what I'm getting at though is it's a great way for people who aren't necessarily great players to learn as well, because you remove a lot of those things that are band-aids that help you, maybe survive when you shouldn't have, or stay concealed. Sometimes I find that concealment expert is a curse, because it allows you to get too close before you get detected. You get detected and you're bonked, and so it forces you to play more carefully, which then when you have concealment expert, now instead of saying my concealment is 5.7 kilometer, you say I have a window to play with that's between 5.8 kilometers and 6.3 or whatever. You know what I mean? Sure,
and taking into account the turn. This is what most battleship players or DD players don't take into account. The fact that you're turning and you're both moving. Mm-hmm. And that's, I think U.S. battleships do a good job of really teaching that, whereas you can stealth torp them, even though you don't have the concealment to torp range and the lower tiers. But if they're coming towards you, if you turn correctly, you could throw those torps out and they'll come into them.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm with you. I mean, you gotta admit it's a badass move using a tier 1 captain. I know. I'm in the kamikaze R, 19 points, every flag on, jiggling. I'm not missing that opportunity.
Well, yeah, especially if you don't have those ships. I completely understand. But I'm trying to think of, it's I often look at it as like it's really good practice, and a lot of sports teams, when they practice, they try to purposely practice harder than the real game, of course, because then they're ready, right? So I look at it as an opportunity to do that, and my ultimate goal in that is to die, and my ultimate goal is to get stuff to players. Speaking of dying, why is Robin still alive?
I mean, all he has is the King Albert to shoot at him at this juncture.
And Junkie is not shooting at him. Instead, he's going for Container. I'd rather see him take out Robin to level the playing field. As meanwhile, you can see Ryguide and Flamed have captured both A and B, are just happily heading to C cap, saying if you want to keep chasing Junkie to the corner, go for it. But we'll just take these caps, thanks.
Well, and you're seeing that mentality of I can't do damage to the higher tier ship live. You know, if a tier 3 is in front of you and a tier 7 is hunting you down and you're chilling in a tier 3, it's very easy to say I can't do damage to him, and the net result of it is the Sharn's going to heal up, and now you probably can't. You could have one good fire there and a DCP, and you're that Sharn's in trouble.
Exactly right.
People don't think about it that way, and I don't blame them. Like, the easier target appears to be the Dreadnought. It's comparable to you. He's staying alive with 3 shooting at him now.
Mm-hmm. Which is also brilliant. Oh, I think we spoke too soon.
Yeah, there's a fire that's gone. No, he heals. He heals through it. He's gonna.
Yeah,
and
but the next salvo that connects.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
That'll do it. But real quick, somebody in my chat mentioned Scharnhorst is a cruiser killer, and there's no cruisers, you know. So why are you bringing it? I agree. I think a Gneisenau might have been a better pick if you wanted the secondaries and torpedoes. Junkie is still living through this. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, they haven't, and the fire's out. This kills him right here.
Oh, there it is.
I mean, I like the Sharn. I've had a lot of 100K games in the Sharn. If you look at it as though you don't first go to those torpedoes. And that's the same problem with the Gneisenau. People see those torpedoes, they get excited, they run up, and they get murdered. It's a great penning ship.
Mm-hmm.
It can very reliably pen other battleships. And if you aim for the upper belt of things and stop going for those big shots, you get a ton of damage in the Sharn. You know, hitting a battleship for 8K over and over and over again adds up real quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you have the opportunity to charge, you charge. It looks like that's what Robin is doing with the gamer turn at the end and the Mikasa. Nerf Mikasa.
That's right.
Overpowered.
Overpowered.
They're gonna win by nothing but points here, as long as the Rai guy and the Mikasa stay alive.
Mm-hmm. Yep. World War II Junkie did what he needed to do. Just pulled people away long enough.
I wonder if they needed time or something for this. This is total news to me that we're having this. But you know what? It's a good way to take a step back, chill the nerves.
This is a great idea. This is a great idea. This is something I'd love to see COTS do. Take the top teams, just have them play in a stupid, even torpedo jousting, who cares?
Oh, see, there you go.
And
I enjoy torpedo jousting.
Then get competitive, right? Afterwards. Up here comes a full broadside on Swagger Noodle.
Wet dog.
Oh, there goes half his health.
Hi, puppies. Hello. I see you've been dumped on me. And you've been playing in the snow. Fabulous. Lay down, please.
Meanwhile, Swagger Noodle is saying, can I get into B cap? Can I get that cap? But Rai Guy is sitting here basically. What is he shooting at? Oh, he's shooting at Swagger. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, big hit on Swagger Noodle.
That's some good shots from that range.
I know. But if Rai Guy wants to help kill the Mikasa, he needs to turn back in now. I think he's going to go for a drive-by on Container.
And that's smart because the South Carolina, while its guns aren't the most accurate, are powerful, and they're powerful enough to Citadel the Revolucia I can never say that correctly. So he's playing safe. There's no reason to, okay, and he gets smacked by the Dreadnought. There's no reason to do crazy things. Minute 8 to go. He is broadside to the Dreadnought. The Dreadnought is, I can't tell if those are pens or overpens because the damage is so small. But he's giving his broadside to the Dreadnought. That's a ballsy move.
Yeah, that's, Oh.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Dreadnought did get a final shot off, and I'm pretty sure that was a Citadel, at least one, into Ryguy. That's points, that's hit points that really could
he didn't
matter.
Need to give away.
Yeah, at the end of the battle.
There's only 36 seconds. I don't think Ryguy is going to be spotted as long as he doesn't shoot at this point.
God, you always spoil my fun. Telling me the game's about to end.
Well, because I've made that mistake like 9 times, where it's like, oh, it's finally happened, and then it's like, oh, but there's only 15. That's how I went on a whole spiel about the Mikasa being hunted down by the Ohio, and then the Mikasa won, and I didn't realize it until I heard the countdown.
Yep.
It's like, well, this Mikasa's hating his life and yelling at his team for making him play that ship, and now he's just going to be mercilessly hunted down, and oh my God, there's only 10 seconds left.
Right.
All right, so there's our exhibition match.
Yep, and I apologize.
They chose low-tier ships on the biggest map available.
The most balanced map available, comrade.
Oh, gosh. You got to be able to hit shots. That's my weakness in this game.
Comment from one of my viewers, looks like a bots game.
Right? Apparently, dividing the team up was the winning strategy on points.
Well, I mean, that worked out really well, didn't it?
So, Two Brothers is going to be our first map. We're going to have IPUSH on the Alpha side and NASA on the Bravo side. Now, if you pick... There is an advantage to this map on the Bravo side. And it's where you traditionally see cruisers go on the eastern flank on the big island. If you don't bring a Mikasa, let me just spit craziness because I believe in having 4 ships firing. You could potentially put your low tier battleship there and have him firing HE over that safely. That's an option. I've never seen anyone do it yet, but it's the finals. Yeah. Maybe get creative.
You're talking about the southern part of the that big vertical island. There's that little lip there. And I've played that
you
lip.
Could fire safely.
Yep, I've played that lip a lot as a cruiser player. But you're right, you could take the low tier ship, put it there, and essentially turn it into a discount cruiser, or maybe even call it a monitor if you want to. It could spam HE like crazy, sure.
Well, I mean, it does something.
Yep. You could do a Nikolai very, very well there. Yeah.
I just and this has been my assessment all throughout this. These Mikasas, they're not influencing the game enough. And there's points available, and this is I can't believe these teams aren't having these conversations. You know, get out of the mentality of the 10 is the best because it can't be overmatched, because it can't this or that, and start looking at your 8s and 9s. And freeing. I mean, you got 4 really good players. If I had you on my team and I put you in a Mikasa, it would be the saddest thing in the world. Like, I want your talent to shoot. Like, that's. So I think it's a big mistake using these Mikasas.
Okay, fair enough. We shall see, won't we?
Would you bring a Mikasa in if you were picking the teams?
No. Not on this map. It's just too... the map is just too big. The Mikasa, and we've seen this already before, it just can't get anywhere. So, no.
And gets trapped.
Yeah.
And I've asked a couple teams after the fact, like, why are you picking a Mikasa over and over again? And the recurring answer is, you know, we've had success with it and we're afraid to change because that's what the other teams have been bringing in. And I think, you know, luck favors the bold.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we shall see. It looks like we're Mikasaing again.
Yep. See me while I yawn.
So on the side of NASA, you have Inflamed in the Kurfürst, the Raigai in the Jean Bart B, World War II Junkie in the Mikasa, and Doom Master 427 in the Ohio.
And then meanwhile, over on the red team, which is this is IPUSH, if I remember. Yep. This is Arkaze in the Jean Bart Black, Container in the Ohio, Robin in the Kremlin, Swagger Noodle in the Mikasa. I don't even need to say anything because, guys, it's the same damn comp we've seen all day for this team.
Yeah, well, and you had it right in terms of that's clearly their game plan. If I'm looking, if I knew this ahead of time, I would not be bringing in the potential ships that NASA brought in. That Musashi is looking pretty tasty against this comp.
Yep. You mean the Kurfürst?
It's what's that?
You mean the Kurfürst?
No. I would bring in Musashi against this comp. Like, Jean Bart gets punished. Ohio gets punished. Kremlin potentially gets punished. So it looks like NASA is going to be bringing the Raigai up wide. They're going to set up a classic crossfire. The Kurfürst is going to hold between these islands at D, being able to use his secondaries. Now, the Ohio is... I've seen this before, and I like what I'm seeing. He's slowing down to cover A, but he's going to do it in a kiting position.
Yep, that's
so
good.
If something shows up in A, he's going to be able to counter it. And if it is overpowering to him, he's going to be able to kite away.
Yep. Inflamed once again.
Doing Mikasa things.
Once again, inflamed Kurfürst not wearing protection.
I mean, can you imagine a detonation at this level?
God, it'd be great. We've seen that before, dude. Raptor and I covered a... I don't remember if it was King of the Sea or what, but we were commenting about a player that wasn't running a detonation, and it was like a best of 5 and best of 3, and game 3, the person freaking detonated. And it was like, we warned you, like, if you've been listening, or one of your buddies was listening, right? Like,
yeah.
How many games do we have to tell you you're not wearing protection before you realize, hey, dude, you're not wearing protection, you know?
Yeah, and so Swagger Noodle is just... They've learned their lesson of overcommitting the Mikasa, but I think it's really smart. On IPUSH's side, they know that the Alpha Spawn has a huge advantage in D with those islands, so they're just eliminating them.
Yep.
And they're eliminating them by bringing their whole team to A.
Yep. I like the decision. As long as they can get Doom Master out, if they can all focus him out, then we're good. This will be a game. If Doom Master is able to kite away successfully and survive, that's the problem that IPUSH is going to run into.
Well, they've got Raigai 9 miles away because they're expecting them. NASA's expecting them to go fight them for D, and that makes sense to have a Jean Bart there. If you're going to fight for D, if you're not, you're a long way away.
Right.
And so we're seeing some change. And Doom Master is clap. He's backing into A, which I love. The DD player in me loves the fact that, like, you play cautiously. If you know that everything's in D, then you turn your behind around and you go straight into it.
Right.
Into A.
Right.
But in the meantime, you back up because the world is your oyster to kite away, and you don't have to expose any part of your ship in order to do it. And now the Kremlin and the Ohio open up on him. Let's see what he sees. He still doesn't know about the Jean Bart, and will never know about the Mikasa. But let's see if he decides to start kiting, and he does.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Instantly.
100%. But he's
and with
probably...
the Kremlin there, the secondaries are going to be able to help him.
Yep. What he's probably going to try to do is sit right within that secondary maximum range. Yep, there he goes. He's slowing down, see? So he wants to stay about 11.3 kilometers away. Technically, his secondaries go out to 11.6, right? But as long as he's within 11.3, that's where he wants to be. And you can see right now, he's just outside of range. The secondaries have stopped. He kited away too far. And that's...
Well, and...
Go ahead.
Yeah, go on. No, I was going to say, Ryguy instantly realizes that at least two of their big ships are over there and is making a hard charge for D, and the Kurfürst is swiveling over.
Yep. But Robin, you notice, has realized too that he's safe right now. The secondary, he's outside the range. So this is huge because it allows for IPUSH to get that early cap. Now, you talked about Ryguy making best speed for D cap. True. The problem is that IPUSH is going to get that first cap tick. Oh, maybe not. He just got spotted. He just got whacked.
Kremlin has been spotted, yeah.
He's still technically earning points before Ryguy, as long as Ryguy isn't in D cap yet. So Doom Master has to kite away long enough. Here we go. Here we go. He can still see Robin. So this is a mistake by Robin to get himself detected. He should have stayed farther back so he can't be detected and can't be decapped. Now, Ryguy and Robin are both capping at the same rate. And that's another decap. So now, Ryguy is capping earlier, which means that NASA gets that point gain earlier than IPUSH. Big mistake by Robin, good play by Doom Master.
Yeah, very heads up. And it takes some stones to back into a Kremlin, Ohio situation.
Yep. But he's doing it for the right reason. And that is to hold the points down. This is something, and guys, those of you that are watching in random battles, getting decaps is so money. It's worth great XP, and it forces the enemy team to linger longer than they wanted to. Look at Robin now. He is still sitting where he's at. He doesn't want to be here. He doesn't want to be farmed by, well, 2 battleships now. But he totally misplayed that. He should have stayed back here. He should have stayed right back on the very edge of that cap. But now he's down to half health already.
Well, and let's talk advantage. If I'm looking at these maps, and I'm IPUSH, I know that we don't know where the Kurfürst is. We know they capped D, and then because it doesn't get there that fast, so we know that there's the Jean Bart over there. I know I had the advantage at the A cap in terms of the Ohio being there, and the Kremlin's sitting still. The Ohio is just now getting into secondary range of him, and I think this Jean Bart has been quiet. So you had a at worst 2v3 advantage that you've squandered, and at best a 1v3, and your Kremlin's losing that.
Yep.
At least while the Kurfürst was moving over, so they had an advantage. They should have known they had an advantage, and I think they squandered it.
This is where you start playing the song that the quartet on the Titanic played before they went down, because you can already see what's happening. Right? Ryguy's going to come around and just own these guys on the broadside. Even if he doesn't nail them on the broadside, he's going to cap C, most likely for free. And that's going to allow a complete pinch of IPUSH here. NASSA's doing a great job. Inflamed, rotating around in the Kurfürst. Good decision. Very good decision.
Yo, definitely. And normally that's too late of a push. And where I think they got NASA a little bit is they went from hitting the Kremlin to then hitting the Ohio when they should have stayed on this Kremlin. That was definitely a mistake, and Doom Master's paying the price for it.
Yep, Container did a great job of taking the lead, taking over the lead.
Yeah, and you got to learn to shoot past that first ship sometimes. Getting a Kremlin off the field, and there goes the Ohio. So now they're in a little. This just got interesting because Inflamed is now isolated against 3, and Ryguy slowed down. It looks like. Oh no, he's still going full speed. He better be able to cap that, but it's going to be a while before he's going to be able to get his guns back into the fight.
Yep. Ryguy's going to cap. Swagger Noodle, unfortunately, will not have a shot in time. So the big deal for this is these 3 battleships that are pushing Inflamed absolutely have to get out there and kill Inflamed as soon as possible. That means Arkazi cannot sit behind islands. That means Robin can't sit behind islands. That means Container can't sit behind islands. They have to kill Inflamed as quickly as possible and then turn around. And the reason I'm saying turn around is... Go ahead.
They got to send someone to B. They got to send their lowest health ship around the horn to B and potentially DC because they're down 3 points and the Mikasa is not getting A anytime soon.
Mm-hmm. Exactly right.
Inflamed is doing a great job of mitigating damage up until that moment.
Yeah, he's kiting away. He's doing what he can. Swagger as well. I mean, come on, you're up against a tier 9 ship. So, good luck with that, kid. But, I mean, what has to happen is Swagger has to hold off Ryguy long enough for these 3 battleships to kill Inflamed so that 1 battleship can go into B-Cap, most likely Kremlin, so he can go down the channel. And then Jean Bart Black and Container both turn around. The Ohio and Jean Bart Black turn around and face Ryguy. That's what needs to happen in order for this to be a win. For IPUSH.
Well, in World War II, Junkie needs to go hide behind the island at I-8.
Yep.
He needs, like, there's... You have to know that they're going to cap B, and they're either going to D or C, and either of those places, you're dead. Oh, boy.
Swagger Noodle goes down.
Stayed alive at the same time Inflamed did.
So, the problem with that, though, is with him dying, there's really nothing to hold Ryguy back in terms of point gain. Maybe a couple of quick resets here, but Container's going to lose angle on him pretty soon. You can see
why
already.
Is he shooting? He shouldn't have shot.
Who shouldn't have shot?
Ryguy. He could have gone dark there and capped A, and then that puts even more. Like, I guess resetting B and holding them there is important. But you're the last ship.
It's almost like they were listening to me. Look what's happening. Container's turning south. Arakaze's turning south. And then Robin is capping B. Although I'm surprised to see that Robin is not angling to go down the channel. That needs to happen. Now, of course, guys, we are casting this from a perspective of we see all the ships. Obviously, we're switching to IPUSH's view right now. They cannot see where the World War II Junkie is in the Mikasa. But
you're not threatened by a Mikasa.
Yeah, they got to get this kill. Now you look at it. Robin is making for Delta, and it looks like Arakaze might try to go down the cap, and Container the channel, and Container's making best speed for A cap. In a random battle, this could work when there's an additional 5 more minutes, but there's only 2 minutes left in the game.
Okay. I was glad you're because I was like, I'm gonna ruin your fun again. There's only 2 minutes.
I'm on to you.
With Ryguy shooting there, though, and this...
Big mistake. Big mistake.
Let's game the points out. If he wouldn't have shot and he would have went dark, that would have given him the ability to turn around undetected. And he could be kiting away full speed here. Now, if the Ohio is going to make that's not going to shoot.
Well, no,
the Ohio is going to be able to see him soon. The Jean Bart B, I don't think gets around fast enough. And World War II Junkie has figured out the fact that as long as he lives, point-wise, I'm trying to math this out in my head. It's a 100-point swing.
So you always want to think about what's the worst thing that could happen. And the worst thing that could happen for World War II Junkie is somebody comes down the channel and he gets wrecked. So he's moving away from the channel, which is a brilliant play. And you can see now, Robin is getting close to D. Again, if there's an extra 5 minutes, that's important. But right now, that really isn't, unless they can kill Ryguy. Ryguy is... That's it. They have to get the kill. Do or die. Plain and simple. Forget the caps.
Yeah, caps were unimportant about 3.5 minutes ago.
45 seconds left to go in this game, guys. And look at Arakaze is hoping. Look at his guns. He's hoping to catch the Mikasa out right here. He's not even looking at where Raigai was. I think they know that they're in desperation mode right now.
Yo, definitely. And bringing Robin over to D made sense if that's where the Mikasa was hiding. And there's 2 places on this map where the Mikasa most likely would be hiding in that situation, and one of them is an F89 behind that island.
Well, I'll tell you what, had Robin come down the channel, his guns might have had a shot on Raigai in time. Maybe. I don't know, right? We don't know, with speeds of ships and stuff like that. Enough. But the big thing here is you're playing for points when it doesn't matter anymore, because stopping a cap doesn't extend the game. The timer is ticking. And that's it.
Yeah. Well, and oh, did we lose? Is the 2nd place game over already? The 3rd place game over already?
I wouldn't be surprised if they did not do an exhibition. If they didn't do an exhibition, and this is best of 3, then yeah, I mean, now we're in the final.
Actually, that exhibition makes a lot of sense then. That gives the second casters a chance to come in on the big game. I like that.
Yep, so that's NASA up 1-0 over IPUSH, correct?
Correct. And I'm shocked so that Kerfers came over, and we've seen a situation where I think it was in Ohio, pushed over late. Now, granted, the Ohio was way on the eastern side of the map when he decided he was going to come over to the west. The Kerfers was not as committed there. He was originally going by the big mountains, by the decap. Good. So, and this is what I play counterplay. NASA won by counterplaying IPUSH.
Yep.
And IPUSH lost by not taking advantage of the huge advantage. They had a huge advantage against that Ohio.
Yep.
And kudos to the Ohio. He survived 2-3 minutes in a 3v1. Now, granted, I don't think the Jean Bart was shooting for most of that. But you have to, if you're going with your game plan, when you have that advantage, if you don't capitalize on it, the enemy team is going to counter you.
Yep.
And so you got to make the most of it, especially if you're putting all your eggs in the basket of one cap.
Yep. WAP, by the way, Where Are Planes beats Screw to take 3rd place.
So now if takes this on Solomon Islands, that's going to be that.
Yep.
Let's see what they do. If I'm NASA, I'm saying we are playing this hyper defensively. Let them over push. Defense has won 70% of these battles.
Yep.
Same lineups.
Surprised?
No, disappointed is the
disappointed is a good way of saying it. Absolutely. This is where a ship ban system would be awesome. Can you imagine if people banned Mikasa? I mean, that's awesome because it forces at least a tier 3.
Yeah, and that changes, and you know, for the NASA team and for Raigai, these guys have lots of ships. Yep. So you're not running into a situation where it's like we only have, you know, one guy with the tier 9, and we've run into that with some of the teams. Like, these guys have options. This guy has an Ohio, for Christ's sake. Yep. Like, I'd like to see more variety.
That would definitely be nice.
Yeah, and in the earlier stages, the teams that were more successful countered and played. There's maps that play better for specific maps. Show me in what world a Jean Bart makes sense on this map.
Right.
Like, what island is it sitting on where it's frontal turrets, can just sit there, and maybe it's the one right by C. It's exposed in B. It's super exposed in A. Don't understand it. Secondary ships apparently are always going to work here.
So they're not taking Jean Bart for the angling. They're taking Jean Bart for the DPM. They're taking it for the ability to fire your HE, get a DCP, and then use a reload booster to get another fire that sticks. That's the idea of the Jean Bart. Is it right? I don't know. And the reason I say I don't know is because there's other ships that you could take at tier 9 that could possibly do better than what the Jean Bart brings to the table. Like you were mentioning earlier, the Georgia.
Yeah. I don't see a Jean Bart as these are small maps.
You know
I see it as a crawler.
You know what I would do right here?
What's that?
I would.
Dead Horse 1911 is now following.
I would probably swap out the Jean Bart for a Georgia, swap out the Ohio for Burgon, take the Burgon. You've never seen a team take A-cap on this map. I'd send the Burgon to A-cap with engine boost going. He gets to A, comes around the backfield, and whacks the Mikasa that's sitting north of B-cap, because that's the typical spot for a Mikasa to go, and then just rolls up the rear. That's what I would do.
We have seen that, and it's been very successful.
Yeah.
But you know, NASSA to their defense, we said play defensively. So putting the Jean Bart along this island is. Did he not learn last time? Don't go too close.
No, Ryguy learned in Island We Trust, right? Because
Look, he's I mean, so scouting report on IPUSH, they stay together with their 3 big ships.
Surprise!
Okay, that could have been worse.
Yes, a lot worse.
And this is, so at this point in time, they see all 3 ships. They have to know caps don't matter at this point. Caps are irrelevant.
Well, look at Junkie. Junkie is already heading towards A. He knows it's a free cap now.
Yep.
And at this point,
that makes sense.
At this point, look at these 3 just moving in formation. This is a thing of beauty, guys. Although they kind of screwed it up and they're going to collide, but still a thing of beauty, kind of. They cannot allow the ram though. If they allow the ram, there it goes.
Yeah, that ram would have completely ruined that now.
Yep. But look at the Kerfers coming around.
And the Kremlin gets punished.
Robin is in a bad position because he cannot angle to both the Ohio and the Kerfers. And Inflame knows that.
Is the Kerfers going to take a shot at the broadside Ohio?
He should.
Kremlin's going for the ram.
Robin's going for the ram. Container needs to shoot the Kerfers, and you can see his rear turrets are coming around for that. Oh, Robin! Can he get it?
Yes. Oh, no. Yes. No. No.
No. Wow.
Now
that was
secondaries kill the Kremlin.
Pixel close.
There have been a couple of those.
Somebody clip that. Holy crap.
Wow. I mean, you gotta. Okay, Kerfers just took a big hit. And Ohio is doing a decent job of mitigating damage. He's getting shots on the Kremlin now because the Kremlin is healing. This is shocking off.
It's ridiculous.
Shocking off through C. And I think the Kerfers goes down before the Kremlin because they didn't finish him off.
Yep. It all depends. There it is. I was going to say, whoever gets the shot off first. Wow. Wow. Okay,
and
so...
And here comes Swagger Noodle with the shots. Unreal. Well, and super defensive didn't win the day here. That's where a Pommern ends that, though. Like, that's... You never see that with the Pommern. They just
Right.
rolled through them. The
Right.
number 5 team just basically said, take as much damage as you're going to take. And they ISO'd the Jean Bart, which it's a Jean Bart. What do you expect?
Not only did they do that, but they also outplayed the Kerr first. And we have to highlight that too, right? Robin surviving against that Kerr first is what ultimately sealed the deal. If they still got the trade, they're okay. But because they weren't able to convert that trade, this happened.
Well, and Robin was for all intents and purposes going for that trade. I
Yes.
mean, I still don't like Ohio and Jean Bart versus Ohio, but
Well,
you're in a better position than this.
what I mean by the trade, though, is the Jean Bart goes down. Fine. You convert the trade. What I mean by that is you get Robin off the board because now both teams have gotten 1 kill. Like, I'm not talking about the ram on the Kerr first. I'm talking about just killing the Kremlin. Yeah.
And that was just a matter of switching manual secondaries.
I would think so. That was also a matter of maybe he shot too early or whatever, or maybe just RNG blessed the Kremlin, blessed Robin. But who knows? This obviously is going to go to a game 3 now.
Yeah, and I'm gonna leave this up. I gotta run upstairs for 1 moment. I'll be right back.
All I'm going to say is, bring it on. Those of you that have been following me for a long time, you know how much I love casting game 3s. Here we go. Here we go again. And I think I need to top off my dirty water. I do. People in chat saying Mikasa overpowered, please nerf. It's not the Mikasa, it's the fact that you can bring a tier 2 battleship to skew the points system. Holding the cup up very close to the keyboard so you can hear the pouring action, the beautiful pouring action that only comes, well, in my house at least, from Maker's Mark. By the way, guys, I can't believe it. I don't know where it went, but they sent me a deck of cards. How freaking hilarious is that? Put a ram flag on Jean Bart. All of these battleships, you're absolutely right, should have ram flags. If they don't, well, that's kind of a problem for them.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Had to feed the puppies.
Puppies are good.
Well, and it comes back to Mikasa got a. Once you knew all 3 were coming down, the utility of that is just I want to see the Julio Turpits again. I think that's the singular best comp. But now, so if you're NASA, you know some things. You know that they're going to come in a tandem pair of 3. So splitting up your ships makes no sense.
Yep. Now this is a best of 3, right? This is not best of 5?
Best of 3.
Okay.
So, and we're going to be in. Oh man, we're going to be in big race. So if they bring 3 in a tandem pair, crossfires are everything, and now they're in a conundrum.
Mm-hmm.
Because you typically split your ships up.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you doing? If you're NASA, what are you doing? If you're IPUSH, what are you doing?
If I am either team, I am going for maximum YOLO.
Really?
Oh yeah. Yeah, this map, like, so we saw before what happens if you're able to take the flank and hold the flank, right? Mm-hmm. But if you go maximum YOLO right up Torpedo Alley, what is the enemy going to do to stop you? If they've got a Palmern, maybe they can send some torpedoes down. Is that going to be enough to completely wipe you out of the board? I don't think so.
Well, and they're not bringing a Palmer. I mean, they're bringing In Ohio, a Kremlin, a Jean Bart, and a Mikasa. And in Ohio, a Kurfürst, a Jean Bart B, and a Mikasa.
Right. So at that point, YOLO, win that side decisively. Whoever wins the flank, congratulations, you won the flank. We get the middle. It's epicenter. You win with the middle.
Now, I will say this. I've never seen it. Well, no. They've killed, but I've never seen a team get the middle before 3 ships are dead.
Mm-hmm.
It's decisive. I like it. It's decisive.
Exactly. And that's what you need. You need super aggression in this play. We saw what happened in the last battle with that super aggression. 3 battleships pushing against Jean Bart. The Kurfürst wasn't in position to stop it in time because they all hit W and they all went. That's what we need to happen here. So I think IPUSH...
Not only decisive play, but concerted decisive play. Because if one goes in first, he's dead.
Yep. I think IPUSH knows what they need to do here. The question is, does NASA know how to stop it? We're about to find out, ladies and gentlemen, as we get into Game 3. Oh, I'm so excited.
Right? It's and this is the right now.
This is it.
The underdogs are coming in with a little bit of momentum.
Yes. All right. Well, take us through the green lineup. NASSA's picks.
It's exactly the same.
I know. that was a bit of a joke. I mean,
same.
Play the same game. Okay, let's do it.
Like,
just
well, and right off the bat, I'm noticing that IPUSH is not. If they're gonna do their trio, they're going right.
Or middle.
That would
be
most
likely right.
That'd be badass.
Absolutely. Honestly, if I were IPUSH, I would go left here because that allows for Swagger Noodle to join in on the fun. Because he's so slow. So I would go up Torpedo Alley.
I mean,
nope, they're going right, like you said.
They're definitely going right. And they go in a tandem pair, so you cannot, like, if you have any type of radio location, you know exactly where they're going. Right?
Yep. You don't even need radio location though, dude. It's like as soon as you see their comp, you know what they're doing, which is just sad. Sorry.
Yeah. What can they do about it though is going to be the question. And it looks like the Jean Bart is not going. Oh, he's just forming up with them. They've learned the tandem pair. They're both the Ohio and the Jean Bart are going to slow down for the Kremlin.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, does the Kremlin get spotted and give away what they're doing?
Mm-hmm.
Gross, Mackenzie. Gross. They ate their food a little too fast.
Oh,
all right, so
Stevie does that sometimes.
Let's keep an eye on what Green can see, and it looks like they know. So there's someone has radio location. They know exactly where they're going.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Kurfürst and Jean Bart are going to counter it. If this Ohio goes down Torpedo Alley, this is your cross shot guy. I mean, you don't have an option.
Yep.
If Doom Master shots are on point, game over.
Absolutely.
And if he slows down, game over for NASA.
They got to move. Plain and simple.
Okay.
That's it.
Kremlin spotted for at least a moment. He put shots out.
Yeah, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, 5K.
Interesting. Look at Doom Master's position though in the Ohio. He's literally just holding Torpedo Alley. But at this point, they have to know, right? Like, this isn't the way they're coming.
Well, and they've taken time behind the island to form up in their little tandem pair. Mm-hmm. It's the same play twice. Mm-hmm. Kurfürst is getting absolutely demolished, and the Ohio has to set up for you. You get one shot at the most broadside object through this first mountain pass, and you get one shot on the next one.
Yep.
I think this is going IPUSH's direction.
Very much so.
And the Ohio's not gonna be in a position to take the first shots.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, this is bad news for NASA. So, if I'm calling this, I'm saying we're going to shoot the Ohio, and they are.
Mm-hmm.
No, it looks like the Kremlin got shot at, and then this Kurfürst is going to ram the highest health ship.
Yep.
In the bunch.
Yep.
Kurfürst should be able to do this easily. Make sure you get as much damage on the Ohio in the meantime. And it looks like the Kremlin is going to be that target.
Yep. Let's take. Oh, there it is.
Okay. So now Jean Bart on Ohio on Jean Bart. And is the Jean Bart going to ram the Jean Bart and leave a low health? This is brilliant. If he gets him, he's not going to be able to get him. Pre-turn your guns?
Nope.
No. Nope. Neither of them did. So now he's going to try and ram the Ohio.
Yep. Container's going to get hit. There it comes. So that's going to be our Kaze versus the Ohio. There it goes.
Okay. This is happening. And now it's Ohio on Jean Bart.
Yep. Now, if World War II Junkie goes down, this is key, because our Kaze is able to maybe mitigate some of the damage for a little bit. Maybe.
Ohio needs to stop going forward too.
Well,
Don't give Ram an option when you have a 96k to 45k HP advantage.
Damn right. So.
And it looks like this Jean Bart's not pushing forward. No, he just. Wow. The Rams.
I know.
Ohio's just sailing broadside and he's shooting at the Mikasa.
Mm-hmm.
How quickly this game turned.
Right?
I mean, and that's the great thing and the unfortunate thing about battleships. You know, you could do all that work and put all that damage on that ship, but if you let it get too close to you and he rams you, it's erased.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to give NASA credit. That was brilliant. They wanted the Jean Bart and an Ohio on an Ohio match, but I think an Ohio on a Jean Bart match, as you can see, is even better.
Yep. So what that's gonna do? I mean, we're moving on to game 3, right? Oh wait, this is game 3.
This is game 3. This is the decider.
Oh, never mind. I'm sorry, guys. That's it.
Well,
that's it.
And
NASSA's
shock and awe was met with shock and awe.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only difference here is they expected it and they had good communication about who to do damage to maximize the damage output before they rammed.
All right, Swagger Noodle, go win the game. Our team depends upon you.
Yeah, I'd like to see a Mikasa beat in Ohio again with 8 minutes.
Not gonna do it.
Oh boy. I mean, they even know where he's at. That's the best part.
Yep.
And just like that, that was huge. I don't see any conceivable. I think they're letting World War II Junkie push up, flush out the fox.
Right.
And just a reminder to everyone here. After this, we're gonna be Strasbourging and I don't remember how you said it. Hizening. But I am going to let this run. I'm going to turn off my stream.
Oh yeah, transition to live. Yep.
Yeah, it's just not worth it being on delay.
So my recommendation for you on that is to end it. Well, don't end the stream. But wait until it gets to caught up, and then you end the stream, discard delay, and then start a new stream after you change the 5-minute delay.
Wait, discard the delay?
Yeah, so in OBS, you're using OBS, I'm assuming, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
So when you go to end the stream, you can choose discard delay, which basically means it cuts the stream right now, currently. Yeah. So wait until the game ends, hit cut delay, and then you go into advanced and turn off the stream delay and then start streaming.
Don't I have to wait for the 5 minutes to
correct
pass?
That way you don't have to wait for the 5 minutes. You can just go.
Wait, I thought discarding delay meant it instantly stops. Won't they lose the end of this?
Yes, so that's why
battle?
you have to wait until it catches up. You have to wait, you have to watch until it gets to the moment where the game is over. And, you know, like mentally think about the part, because obviously we're going to say our goodbyes and acknowledge each other and all that good stuff. And then
Yep.
at that point, that's when you have to hit discard delay and move on. So my recommendation for you would be to just wave at the camera or do some sort of a sign that you're going to look for in your own stream. And that's when you discard delay and start transitioning over.
Got it.
Which is going to be really soon, by the way.
Because... Yeah. No, I'm aware. Swagger Noodle is near death. I mean, no matter what, it cuts the stream and I lose everyone. But like at that point, I don't care.
Yeah. It's going to cut the stream for like 10 seconds if you do it quickly enough, so you'll be fine. So that's NASSA winning on 2-1, right?
Yeah, 2-1. I mean, it ultimately came down to you got to give IPUSH credit. They came from the 5th seed play-in, made it all the way to Game 3 in the finals, shocked and awe in Game 2. High risk, high reward.
Look at Swagger Noodle, just like, I mean, can you imagine the balls on this guy, like just charging in Ohio?
Oh, he knows it's over. Ohio's not even putting his secondaries on it. He's letting the Mikasa finally get some action. Oh, there it is. Oh, boo.
Oh, death pick.
And there it is.
There it is.
Congratulations to NASSA. And also IPUSH. I mean, they had a hell of a run.
Somebody in my stream is saying, Jean Bart versus Jean Bart. My money is on Jean Bart. You're not wrong.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But it's... So, a lot to be taken from this tournament. It was a ton of fun. It shows you that a game we play day in and day out has different elements to still be explored. And I hope they continue doing this. If you're gonna play in this tournament in the future, don't pick Mikasa. That's all I got. Those were my closing remarks.
Or hope that they institute a ban system and they ban Mikasa. That'd be even better.
I agree. And in a you could play any battleship tournament, maybe allow 3 bans, or 3 and then 2 League of Legends style.
Mm-hmm.
Also possibilities.
Yep. So this is the part where we thank everybody, of course, for being a part of this. GameProdigy, thanks so much for being a co-caster. This was a buttload of fun. So thank you so much. Like, being a part of this was great because, like, you were able to catch me up with a lot of what's going on because you've covered a lot of this stuff. So big thanks to that. Thanks to the teams for putting together this awesome experience. And you can see here, what you guys saw is because some teams looked at it and said, let's do it. I'm watching my own clan's chat saying, man, we should have put in our own team. Well, yeah, you should have. You didn't. Oh, well, it happens. But like people putting themselves out there, that's what makes player run competitions work. So big thanks to the teams for putting that out there. And big thanks to the organizers, the YOLO community, especially Hold My Beer, for putting this together and working with me and the other streamers to bring you all fine folks the best possible experience we can under the circumstances. And like, it's been fantastic.
Yeah, and this has been great. So are you continuing to stream, Mr. Zan?
No, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and raid the Bob's Train because tomorrow I will be a part of the Bob's Train during my normal stream, which is 12 to 6 p.m. Central Standard. GameProdigy, go ahead if you want to talk about your channel a little bit and shout yourself out. Please do.
Oh, you felt me enough. You'll see me after Zath on the Bob's Train tomorrow.
Oh, you're doing it too?
Yeah, I'm directly after you.
That's fantastic. So I get to raid you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's great, guys. They've already raised like over $5,000 for Save the
15.
Children. 15?
15. It's at like 7. Hold on, I have it on my stream. It's at
Dandy
18,190.
Brandy 1 is now following.
It's crazy.
Oh my god! Because I know that I know that they made $1,000 on a Venom,
Venom. Yeah, did you see that?
which is nuts. But I understand too, because it's a ship that will probably never see the light of day again in the shop. So it was never actually sold in the shop, was it? It was only for the grind. That was it.
Correct, and Christmas containers.
Yeah. Yeah. So awesome.
All right, I'm gonna hand you off there, buddy. I appreciate it. I'm gonna do my little close and be back on.
Oh,
Let's
sounds
do this.
great.
Let's do something like this again in the future.
Hell yeah, let's do it, guys.
All right.
Great
adios.
times. See ya. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and raid up. I had it in the I had it set up, but then I lost it. Crap. Hold on. Universe is waiting. I had it up here. There we go. The current Bob's channel. That's Pensioner, and please give the Zath wave, which is the circle and the slash when you get there. Okay. We're gonna go ahead. Oops. Actually,